What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K, and I am here with your other host, Project Storm. Storm, how you doing today, man?
Man, let's get into the show, man. That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hey, there's a lot going on, MM and chat. It's good to see everybody in here so far, all the early birds and everything. But there's a whole lot to talk about. Some stuff is just gonna be eye-opening. So I'm doing good, man. It's a beautiful day outside, a little humid and all that, man. But I'm here and I'm ready to go. I have a lot to talk about, MM. You know, whenever there's a lot to talk about, there's limited time to do it, bro. So what's going on with you today?
Yes, man. I'm just chilling like a villain. We went on hiatus last week. That was all my fault, people. If y'all ain't heard the news, for those that have been following me since day one, like your Cold Blood Senseis and your Paul G's, and Storm says his name right. I say it the MM2K way. Whole C22. If y'all been following me for a while, y'all know that I've been looking for a house, man. It's been a struggle. It's been like a 3 year struggle,
Yeah,
and
boy.
I think we finally found one, man. All we need now is the inspection to go right. That's the only contingency that we have. And if the inspection goes right, we in there like Flynn, man. It's
Let
a
me ask you
long
this,
time coming.
man. Is it gonna have a getaway, like a not a man cave, but a getaway, man, when you need to hide? Like if you use your wife's credit card too many more times, you know what I'm saying? Is there any way you can retreat
I
to?
have. That's the thing. I have to build it. And we were looking
Mm,
at. It's a funny thing, Stone. We were looking. There were two houses that really were going to be it. The one had a man cave that was already like decked out, carpeted, everything. It was thorough.
yeah.
The problem was is that in the location that it's at, what made it complicated for us to find a house was my wife has to be to work at 4 in the morning.
Right.
So at 4 in the morning here in Pittsburgh in the wintertime, the roads ain't iced if you're not on a bus line. They don't get iced until like 10, maybe 11 o'clock. So or de-iced. So my wife would have no way to get to work. So we had to either be on a bus line or be in a distance to where I can, we both can walk to work. That's what I would normally do with her.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find anything in that vicinity or, on a bus line or whatever. And we finally did it. But this place that had the place that I really wanted that had the man cave Storm wasn't on the bus line. And it was like deep
Oh
in like
man.
this cul-de-sac. It was crazy, bro. So I was like, yeah, there was no way if we had an ice storm tonight, she's not getting out. And
That's
she
how it
works at a
happens.
hospital. Yeah, so there ain't no calling there off like, oh, I can't make it today. No, they want you there. Um, this one I got to build it, but the basement is nice enough. It's finished and everything. I can build it, so I already got plans on that, bro. I told my wife. I said as soon as the drywall comes up, y'all are getting out of my face. I said there's gonna be a hole through the drywall where I put the shotgun through if y'all try to bother me, man. But
I hear you.
but yeah,
Hey,
no, some
hey,
good stuff.
fortunately, I was able to get mine, man. You know, I was able to
Yeah,
get mine. I got like a little bit of like 500 square feet, 10-foot ceiling out
word,
here, man. I had
word.
I had
That's
a two
what's
car
up.
garage that was finished off when we got this thing, so it worked out for now. The basement is unfinished, but that's another story. One day I get to finishing that up or something. But I want a bigger house, man.
Do
But
you?
let's go,
Oh,
man. Yeah,
oh.
forget about our Red Riding Hood stories and all that, man. Let's get into some of this. Hey, but before we get into anything, let's do this chat, man. How about the chat? How
Yes.
about we get into this
Yep.
chat? So
Hit them up.
today on the show, y'all, and the chat, we got Bulls for Life. Two bugs in the house, man. We
Too
have Daily Doses
much.
News. We got Elk New, as MM would say. We got
Yeah.
Jay Smith. We got Ethric.
Yo, yo,
A,
yo.
K, A, Proto P. Got
Proto
Ray
P.
Sherrod joining us all the way from the West Side. Project the
Yes.
Storm is in the building. Vic, Victor Del Mastro is in the
Oh,
building,
Vic.
y'all.
What's going on,
Romello
Vic?
Thomas is also here. Roy Martinez, Roy Martinez is up in here.
Okay, Roy.
And we also have your favorite individual, G Million.
G Millie.
G Millie, what's going on, man? I hope everybody out there is good. Daryl Smock Jr. is in the house. Smock is here, y'all. He ain't going nowhere. He's
Hey,
always
what's up to
around when you
Smock?
need him.
Heck shit.
Daryl
Shout out to
Smock
Smock.
Jr., man.
Yep.
Hey, We have a whole lot to talk about. I know MM2K was going to say this, but man, sometimes we like to steal from each other, bro. We got a lot to talk about, you all. A lot of things that's going to have you scratching your head. So, as I always
Yeah,
say, get what you need now, your drinks, your snacks, your breakfast, your dinner. Get what you need to succeed and come on back because, man, do I have a lot to talk about.
absolutely. I mean, we have, I don't want to say even our main topics. We got like our three topics that we're going to get into, but there's just so much stuff that happened this week in the world of not just Stadia but gaming. The stuff that we cover normally here on the show. We got a hell of a show lined up for y'all today. What is it that we got lined up to talk about? At least this, and this again, this is not everything. First and foremost, though, we want to get into our good friend Sunny Cloud Gaming. Man, Sunny put out a hell of a video, and for all of you that are engaged in these conversations, there's nothing wrong with it, but about the engaged in the conversations about over concerns of what's coming to Stadia, you need to watch that video, because I think sometimes things get lost in translation and we forget the stuff, and we got to remember that what Sonny talks about in that video is the stuff that is known. We still got a bunch of stuff that we don't know about, right? So we're gonna touch on that. Also, we got some more bad journos, man. Yesterday in particular was a day of some bad journalistic stuff. So we're going to cover that. We're also going to cover the world of Halo, man. Like Twitter and social media storm has been ablaze. And we're going to talk about Halo because that's a big topic discussion. Shout out, we shot this brother out normally. Shout out to my brother King Thrash Gaming.
Yes, sir.
Very controversial, very divisive figure, but that's my homie. He's out there, man. He's out there cutting the rug on this, man. So we're going to talk about it. Should Halo be delayed? And plus, Storm, we got a whole bunch of topics in regards to tech. A tweet that Stadia sent out that you caught on. You know what I'm saying? That you helped spark up a little bit. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about crossplay, man. We're gonna talk about the huge need of crossplay and some things Stadia can do. It's not gonna be all roses and lollipops. We gotta keep it real here. We gotta have an adult conversation.
Hey, scratching.
Yeah, absolutely. And much more, man. So with that said, let's get into what we've been playing since last episode. Storm, let the people know, because I know it's been plenty. What you been playing since last episode, man?
I'm gonna keep it short because we got some more people that came up in the chat, and I think they're most important right now. So we're gonna go with Alex Billy in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We also got Vet Cloud Gaming in the building.
Vet, what's going on, bro? Good to see you.
And then we got the homie Charles and Tommy Rocks.
Tommy Rocks and Charles, yes.
We also have, and I almost missed, Dancing Panda. See, I got all these greens and blues dancing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Dancing Panda in the building. You know what I'm saying? What up? So I'm gonna say, I'll say, and Amanor. Amanor just popped up, y'all. So we can't do a show without Amanor in the chat. Keeping us on our toes, man. Keeping us on our toes.
Shout out to my bro Amanor.
So but I've been playing Madden 22 real heavy. It's still the game that I said it was earlier. We'll get into that when we talk about more of this crossplay and all of this stuff. But I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit of PUBG, a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, man, on the PC and Series X. I also played some Destiny 2 on Stadia yesterday, some Control on Stadia yesterday. Check out that Control gameplay. I don't always just like self-promote and stuff like that, y'all. Some people do it and they laugh about it sarcastically, like, no shame, selfish plug and all that. Yeah. No, I'm saying you need to check out Control running in that video I made yesterday. If you haven't caught a glimpse of Control on Stadia yet, check that out, man, because I'm telling you, that game gets better and better every time I think I jump into it. It just gets better and better as a game. The performance is also right there as well, man. I'm still surprised by that. There's no game that's ever taken me off Madden when it releases I go hard until I get to the top 100, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But Control is a game that's just been calling on me. Finish me, Storm. Finish me right here on Stadia. And that's what I've been trying to do, man. I got to keep on moving through. Like I promised the people, I'm going to power through Control, and I am not going to break that promise.
Facts. That's what's up, bro. That's what else you been playing though, bro?
Oh man,
I know you've been playing more.
a whole lot more, man. So I didn't really want to jump into it, but man, I just sample. I do my normal sample thing. I might drop a little bit of footage here and there, but I've been doing the landing challenges in Flight Sim. I've been playing this other game that is also it's like a flight sim, but it's more military based or whatever, called DSC World 2021.
Word.
That's a
Okay.
free to play game on PC, 100 gig install, man. And speaking of installs, I saw somewhere that the newest Call of Duty might be around 270 gigs for the
That's
bundle.
bonkers.
And man, we don't have this on the notes, but bro, can we fit this in a little bit so I
Yeah.
can get
Oh,
your
we gonna
take
talk
on it?
about
Because
it.
we've been saying this for a long time, how important these Call of Duty games, how
Yes.
important it will be for them to start shifting to the cloud, man, because of these install sizes. So what's your
Yep.
thoughts on that?
Real quick, yeah, it would be the moment that it makes sense all the way around. Like, I want to say we're going to talk about this a little bit more later as we get to our Tim Sweeney section. We got a section dedicated to our good friend Tim Sweeney, if we can make it there. But in relation of just there are a lot of games that are not on the platform that I think people are upset about, and they're like, why ain't Stadia just throwing the money out there to get them on the platform? And I think Stadia would be throwing money away. I mean, yes, it would sound nice to some of us, the hardcore, the 5%, but I think the majority of the Stadia base wouldn't be sufficient enough to make the amount of money that they put to go get the game on the platform versus what they get back to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think there might be a couple of outliers. Outlier number one, I think, would be Fortnite. I think if they put Fortnite on here, I mean, is it going to be like 50 million people day one? No, but I think it would be a lot of people, and I think it would overload the platform. But that's a whole nother kit and caboodle. And another game could be Call of Duty. Storm could be Call of Duty. I don't know if Activision is just willing to, like, what we got to remember too is that not only do they got to take the bag and make the game, but they got to maintain the game.
Yeah.
And they got to take resources. It's not like, you just clippity clap your hands and you get another employee and that employee can put the game or service the game. You got to divert resources that you're already running thin on now to support the premier platforms and divert them to Stadia. So that that complicates these conversations. So, but yeah, if Stadia got Call of Duty, that would be some big bargaining chips, particularly because of the space that you're talking about.
Yeah. And I agree, man. I agree. And I tell you what, man, we got some more people that just crept up in the building,
Yo,
and
yo, yo.
that is. We got the homie Jim, who I always
Jim!
call Jim. I always put the Stadia in parentheses on Jim's name, you know what I'm saying? Because he's just one of the faces of Stadia, man. That's all. He's just
Absolutely.
one of the faces for me. He's one of the faces of Stadia, doing big things out there, having fun on these games, giving away different prizes and stuff like that, man. Doing what a real community member should do, in my opinion, man. Jim is just another one, but we have a whole laundry list of other ones out here putting in that work. But Jim is definitely
Absolutely.
one. We got Chariot Man Gaming. He's another one.
Chariot Man?
Chariot Man Gaming, fresh from the Bering Sea, to see how many MFers he done threw out there. You know what I'm saying? Chariot Man Gaming, y'all. Check him out. Always breaking down content, man. The brother is also playing Control. Y'all need to get out there and support him. Check him out, man. He's hilarious. And he just don't even care. Like, I can't explain it. You got to go check him out, man.
Yep.
You have, who else? Anybody else? And the Nightbot. The Nightbot showed up.
Nightbot,
Yeah.
you guys shout out to Nightbot. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Great stuff. So what I've been
Ron
playing.
Slusher. My bad. Ron Slusher in the
Oh, you
building. I
miss
knew I
Ron?
forgot somebody.
Yo.
Ron
Oh, yeah,
Slusher.
yeah.
I did that on purpose, though. I did it on purpose.
Oh, you did
know
it.
what I'm saying?
Let me say this real quick.
Who is Ron Slusher?
Let me say this real quick. Ron Slusher, shout out to Ron. He's been very
The
patient
homie.
with me. This past Monday, we premiered some new content that I'm going to be spearheading. It's called the Old Dirty Blaster Show, right? And what that is Old Dirty Blasters is the PNTS Network clan that we're bringing back that specializes in games that have cross-play with Stadia. The purpose being Storm, and Storm already knows. It's just Storm knows I like just calling his name. But
break it down. Some people might not know, man.
The reason being is that we want to show gamers that gaming on Stadia is, I mean, there's perks to it, but you don't give up any bone marrow or any DNA or, you don't go through a skin graft to game on Stadia. You're enjoying gaming on Stadia like you do everywhere else with Stadia's added perks. So we want to show people that, because I remember when Storm and I would do crossplay with PC people on the Division, they were shocked at that we were playing on a platform that was on a dongle or on a web browser, and we were keeping up with them, you know? And so I think more of that needs to happen. So what we're doing is we're trying to promote that through Old Dirty Blasters clan. It's a clan that's going to be in games again that have crossplay with Stadia. If you're on that platform or on Stadia for said game, you can join the clan. The first clan that we're going to build and set off soon is the clan for Division 2. So definitely go to PNTS Network and look for that. Matter of fact, I can show y'all right now because we done made it live. Go to PNTS Network and nope, that's not it. Where the hell is is that it? There we go.
While you find it, I was going to say, we got Kenry V in the building, man. You know, people keep on popping up, man. Kenry V. Next, we go hardest right here. Burbs Gaming. MM2K, but it's interesting that you're talking about this in the first place, because some people want to play games with us, man. They want to chop it up and get on this multiplayer and have a good time with us. So this is a great thing. This is how you do it, y'all.
Absolutely.
Part of the reason. This is how you can do it.
So if you go to PNTS Network, go under featured and go to Old Dirty Blasters Clan and get past that, then it'll take you right here to our new webpage dedicated to the clan. You click, it tells you click here for access, and it'll take you to the sign-in form, to sign up, because we're going to start with a specific number, and then we're going to grow it from there. So again, just go under featured Old Dirty Blasters Clan, and then just, let us know that you're interested. We're trying to gauge interest, and we're going to be sending out the official invites shortly. So definitely do that. I wanted to let everybody know out there. And the reason why, what relation that has to Ron Slusher is that we started to show where I'm going to be playing games from our subsect of Old Dirty Blaster games that we're going to have in our catalog. And I asked, I'm going to be asking crazy trivia questions. So I asked this crazy trivia question that had something to do with wrestling, and Ron Slusher got it. I didn't think nobody would get it. So I said, I'm going to give my brother a $25 gift card. And then I thought about it. I said, well, what the hell? I might as well make this a thing every Monday. So if you come to Stadia Dosage Plus, or you go to Stadia Dosage Streams on Mondays around 11 a.m. Eastern, I believe it's going to be, or was that 3? You'll find out the time. But come to Stadia Dosage Plus on Twitch or Stadia Dosage Streams on YouTube. I'll be doing a crazy trivia. You know what I mean? While I'm playing these games. So I just want to shout out Ron Slusher for being the first honorary winner of that giveaway. So, all right, Storm. I've babbled enough, good brother. I think it's time that we get on to these topics.
Let's go.
Let's do it, man. First and foremost, Sunny Cloud Gaming did a hell of a video the other day. And I'm a fan, and I know people are like, oh, you're a fan, or yeah, I'm a fan. I'm not going to deny it. I'm a fan of Sunny Cloud Gaming.
Who's not? Who isn't?
Exactly. And if you're not aware of who this guy is because you live under a rock, let me just explain to you. Sunny Cloud Gaming is a YouTube content creator that focuses on cloud gaming, and he focuses on streaming of Stadia games, and he does GFN and some other stuff as well. What is he at now, Storm? How many subscribers?
Over 19,500 subscribers. It's astronomical, man. Astronomical growth for a platform that nobody wants to play.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you,
Dang.
Storm.
That's
Ain't
just
that ain't
one
that wild?
individual.
That's bananas to me. So for the platform that's about to die, that's not going to be around. You know what I mean? He got 19,500 subscribers. He deserves every last one of them because the brother does hellified content.
Yes, he does.
Here's the thing though. Every now and again, on top of the already fantastic job that he does, my brother snaps. My brother said he snaps. And he does some stuff that be like, whoa! Like bar none. There's bar none. Can't nobody touch what my brother's doing. So he did a video the other day where he talked about the games that are coming to Stadia. Because there's a lot of talk about, oh man, Stadia, man, we ain't getting Battlefield and da 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 da. And what's up with 2K? And I get that. I definitely get that. More particularly the 2K thing. But the way that the conversations are going, Storm, it makes you believe that Stadia's not getting anything. And they're not getting anything hard hitting. And my brother said, what he did is he put a video out that showed you what we got this year and showed you what was coming. And what it did for me is it made me reflect on, wow, in comparison to the stuff that did come out that was heavy hitting, we did get a lot of stuff. So we got a lot of stuff. And we're getting some good titles. I mean, I am not doing it any justice, so I'm going to stop trying to break it down like that, but I'm going to turn it over to my brother Storm, who could do a lot better job. Storm, what did you think about the video? What are your thoughts on the vibes that it gave?
Tell you what, you know what I mean? As I get a link to Sonny's channel, not like you really need one. You could just stumble across the great content.
Exactly.
I think that it may it so this is why our voices are important. You in the chat. Us out here chopping up videos, the streamers, you know what I mean? Everybody that has a part in this, man. Even Stadia as a community, even like Grace and all of them, man. When you have these unique voices out here, like Sonny's and others out here that we talk about all the time, and many people we miss because you just got on Stadia and just started, you know, getting your feet wet in the content creation and stuff. Like when you start realizing that you have an individual out here like Sonny who has a voice that everybody wants to hear. Haven't heard one individual say anything bad about the brother. Haven't heard it. I just haven't. Nope. You know, I've been looking in this chat for a long time. Haven't heard it. Haven't seen it. Social media, long time on Twitter. Haven't seen it. So that tells you the personality behind Sonny Cloud Gaming, man. And Sonny is the same dude. I always tell him over and over, man, Sonny, you the same dude, man, since day one. You haven't changed with your growth. You haven't changed in the midst of all the turmoil and the hate, all of the changes and everything, you know, the doom and gloom and all of that stuff that comes with Stadia. You haven't shied away from the love and appreciation, man. So if that's not inspirational and motivational, man, there's some concerns I have, y'all, to be honest with you. I have concerns. I talked to Eminem about them. I'm like, man, but our concerns stem from a place of love and just desire for the platform to do better and grow, which it is. But even more so, y'all, that like when you're passionate about something, as Sonny and myself and MM and others are, then you kind of, you get where I'm coming from, right? So Sonny's been the same dude, man. I stopped by the chat, you know what I mean? What up, Sonny? I don't have to drop a super chat. Project Storm is hey man, awesome content, man. Best 4K content. You can be the crispiest 4K content. When you get that kind of recognition, y'all. See, because you in the chat, you all in the chat right now, you wouldn't come up in here if we didn't include you all, if we didn't care about the chat. You wouldn't be here every week, supporting us and everything. So man, to hear Sonny do like say stuff like that and to see him put out videos like that to MM2K that's always informative. Sometimes he knows he drops like jewels on our heads that nobody even anticipated. Sometimes you get the inside scoop on things and can't say a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But he still shares as much as he can. And it says a lot about the platform, man. The games are coming. We've been saying it, but you know, of course, our voices are loud. But they don't have to be as loud as Sonny's right now because we're all unique, right? But to hear him say that these games are coming and to see how many people goes and checks that out, that's crazy. That's what we need, man. We need more of that. Even if you're a small 10 subscriber content creator, we still need to be doing the same things. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, we all. Well, before I get into that, because I'm a firm believer in giving you your roses now. And I got Sonny's Twitter page up here. Now a lot of you are probably saying to yourself, well, MM2K, why don't you put Sonny's video up? I wish I could if YouTube wasn't so janky. I'd put it up. But and then also too, I'm not gonna rob my brother of that view. Y'all need to go see that video.
Oh,
but here goes Sunny Cloud Gaming. You can go see him on Twitter. Sunny Cloud Games. Here goes his Twitter profile if you're not familiar with him. I know there's a lot of people that watch us Storm that are from like either the Crumb side or my broadband bully brethren or whatever, who think that they truly think that me and you are the only ones that are doing this. I wish I had Sunny Cloud Gaming's clout. 19,500 subscribers. There's so many. And he's not the only one. There's great content creators on this side. They do all the fact finding. They don't listen to the IGNs. They are concerned with the Kotaku's misinforming you, and they give you the straight dope. And Sunny Cloud Gaming is really at the top of his game right now doing that, and it shows in the people that passionately enjoy his content. But here goes his Twitter page, and there goes me, man, telling him, I'm already a huge fan, but wow, fantastic video. So if you're on his Twitter page, you can get to his video that way where you see MM2K giving Sonny his flowers. He really deserves it. It's a hell of a... I wish I could show it if YouTube wasn't so janky sometimes. But...
and leave my YouTube alone, man.
I know. But, bro, so my question is, what do you think, though? Even though Sonny did do a fantastic job breaking down what is coming and addressing that angst. What do you think about the angst, though? About the games? Like,
I don't want to see people overlook the fact that these great games are coming, man. Like, we get so caught up in the GTA rumor, the want for Call of Duty and the Tim Sweeney Fortnite discussions, right? What I don't want to see, I don't want to see people in the community, overlook the greatness that awaits for us. And I know that's PlayStation, y'all, but it just came to my mind. So, hey, it is what it is. But we have great things up and coming, MM. So when it comes to community, man, we all have our opinions, sometimes very strong, very strong. And you should always have your unique opinions and thoughts, right?
Yeah.
But that's my thing, MM. I don't know, man, because there's so much more I'm thinking about when it comes to this. But right up the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking right now when it comes to the community and all of that stuff, man. Because we want so much that we don't take time to appreciate what we have. Like games like Young Souls just dropped on the platform that wasn't on my radar. But I'm hearing nothing but phenomenal things about it. That's just one example of what I'm talking about here, right? So that's how I feel about it. But what do you think when it comes to community and the angst and all that stuff?
Well, I get it. I completely get it. I've had various conversations with people, and I definitely did not. I don't want people to think that I'm like, oh, shut up. Who cares if you want games? Damn it. I'm not one of those people. I get it. And for instance, one game in particular, which this is my selfish plug. Stadia, if you could, please. I don't know if y'all remember that meme with the guy holding his hands by the poolside. Please, God, please. If Stadia gets Dying Light, I'm good. If they get Dying Light 2, I'm good. I don't give a damn what else comes out. Because I love that series. I love Techland. If y'all get Stadia, listen to me. Look, nothing else matters. Turn off your fans. Turn off your pacemaker. I don't care. Listen to me. Stadia. If you get Dying Light 2, I promise I'll try to behave and be the best Stadia content creator on God's green. I swear.
That's a lot now. Now you're being recorded.
I know you're being recorded now. I know there's going to be receipts, but if y'all get Dying Light 2, I would love. But if y'all don't, I got my 3070 that I can play it on, or PlayStation, that I can play it on, but I want to play it on Stadia. So I get that angst. A lot of people are like, yeah, I might have other options, or yeah, me getting access to something else to play it on won't be a problem, but I want to play it on Stadia. But what we got to realize is that those wants, it's kind of it's kind of like they're teasing us sometimes, but they don't mean to. But those wants sometimes don't jive up to the roadmap for Stadia. Like, they can't, like I said earlier, they can't put money out and get every single game. That's just not feasible right now. Y'all got to remember that Stadia just introduced the platform to developers for the most part in 2019. It's only two. That's only 2 years. That's only 2 years from now, and or two. Yeah, that was only 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you got to remember what happened right after that storm: COVID. So some of these games are going to be challenging to get right now. What I can tell you is Google's just not sitting and resting on their hands and they're saying, oh, it's going to be hard, so we're just not. They've doubled down. Not only have they doubled down and got the dev tools together, or they're working on getting the dev tools together, but they're doubling down and they're working to get the games. On good authority, they've said, look, we're putting our heads down. We're getting out of the muck. They basically said what they had to say to GameIndustry.biz. We're alive and well. Just stop the bull crap. They put their heads down and they're getting the games. Now, I know a big question, Storm, was what about SG&E closing down? When SG&E closed down, there was that money they were spending there. That should automatically translate to games. Mm-hmm. That's not the case. When it comes to business, it don't work like that. Deals still have to be made. Resources still have to be aligned. That's not something that happens overnight. And it's not a guarantee. It's just, it makes things more plausible. You know what I mean? And you got to think about it like this, y'all. SG&E's output wasn't coming overnight. We weren't going to see a big hitting SG&E game for 5 years. Jade Raymond told you that, right? She said, our Breath of the Wild ain't coming for 5 years. So all of the resources that were tied to SG&E, it was 5 years worth over time. They all that money wasn't just allotted from Google immediately, and then they can buy every single day game. Call of Duty's coming tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So those resources over time will be diverted instead to other things. But again, this is a process. Like how it was a process for Xbox, how it was a process for PlayStation. It's going to be a process for Stadia. So even though I get the angst, Storm, in closing, I do understand that we can't make this platform be something that it's not. They got a journey that they're going through. They are working to get the games, but I do look at what's coming and what we do have, and I'm happy. I'm happy.
Same here. And of course, there's games on the list. Shout out to Jay Smith, who reminded us that Sonny didn't cover. There's a few games that he missed, and probably likely due to time constraints. And that just makes it even better. Makes it even better that there's games that he might not that he might have left out or whatever that's still coming. And there's probably a couple unannounced moves or whatever that we haven't heard yet, because we know what Stadia did last fall. Just let's never forget that, what they did last fall, So, hey, if the summer is as hot as it is, which we predicted, we called that out. And I don't know if you all might disagree, but this right here, has definitely been a hot summer, man, as we see more and more news about these games, more and more gems coming out of nowhere like Grime and Young Souls and others, right? Hey, man, it's a good time to really be on board. Now, with all that being said, remember, we still have some things that we are concerned about that we will be discussing. So get you a drink, get you a snack, order you some food, whatever you need to do, and come on right here, because we have a lot more to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing though, y'all. In that discussion, we had some things that are happening recently with crossplay. So Storm, I really want to pick your brain about this. Because Madden in particular, now we got to have these adult conversations, y'all, so hopefully you guys will understand. But Madden in particular, it's released. It's doing numbers elsewhere. We don't expect it to do the numbers on Stadia that it's doing elsewhere. But the numbers that we're seeing may be a little bit lower than are fathomable for those that want to play ranked matches, right? People are having
Yeah,
difficulty playing
like
ranked
me.
matches. Yep.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, Storm. What are your thoughts on what's going on with Madden right now? Because it's a big ticket game. We got the big ticket game, but we can't utilize all the feature sets right now because again, the Stadia player base is is low, rather lower than the other platforms. It's growing, but what can Stadia do to help alleviate some of these issues?
Listen, here's the beautiful thing about these shows we do, the chat, you all joining in and all that stuff, man. I always say it, me and Rev on the Revolutionary Storm, shout out to Rev. We always say that we need you all engaged in this conversation as well, so we can get the ball rolling on things, or we could put the concerns out there that's really some things that's bothering us, because not everything is going to be perfect, peaches and cream and all that. And Stadia knows this. They've said it. They've gave us a clear indicator of this, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
things are going to take time to be perfected almost, So with that being said, Madden 22, y'all, if I'm all over the place, forgive me, because this is a game that I love. I played it. I've played every single Madden, and I've been in the top 100 since, man, probably since Madden went online. You know what I mean? Each and every year, I'm always climbing the leaderboard. So that's very important for me, right? But on this year's version of the game, as it stands right now, okay, realizing that a patch could fix this, but as of right now, the leaderboard appears to be broken for me. Now, I don't know about
Mm-hmm.
everybody else, but for me, the leaderboard seems to be broken. I know that right now I'm ranked number 5 or 6 on the leaderboard, but for some reason it's not showing. There's nearly 1,000 players online that's ranked
Mm-hmm.
right now, right? But
Yep.
the leaderboard is broken, and that's something that I know I could reach out to EA about or whatever, and hopefully they'll get on that. I've seen my rank disappear on previous Maddens, so there's nothing worse than seeing your rank disappear. At least I could see my rank. So the game, but I really want to stay on this topic for a few minutes, man, because some people are out here saying that the game is trash on Stadia, which is inaccurate. That's not true. You know how I know? Because I've been on the game. I paid $100. I was on the game since the 17th. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's just something. That's what I do. When you love something, when you love these games, you spend that money on them. You don't. The price is what it is. You're gonna get your enjoyment out of it. So it's worth $1,000 to me, right? At certain
Mm-hmm.
now, to a certain degree. You get what I'm saying? For your enjoyment is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Now, broken trash should not be put out there. Now on the Series X, what I played over there was not cool at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be as nice as I can. You know me, y'all. I don't like to just go out there and say the things that other people might say on social media. But that game needs help. It needs a prayer. It needs whatever it can get on Series X. It's just I just played it yesterday. My offensive players still do not show up on the field at all over there. So this is why Stadia players should be thankful, right? For one, we got the best version of the game. Stadia and PC version, best in my opinion. I can show proof. In fact, I have proof on my channel of why. I can show you screenshots and clips of the Series X version to show that I'm not capping. I don't hate my Series X. I paid $500 for it, so that doesn't make sense. Now, but it's a fact. We're talking about facts here. And another fact is that we only have a fraction of the players here on Stadia. With that being said, more can be done and more might be done, with time. And that might happen in the coming days or weeks where we might see a free to play weekend. That happened with Madden 21. Madden 21 came later in the game's life cycle or launch after it launched or whatever. It came to the platform late, came to Stadia late. What did they do? They had a free to play weekend. It created a really good buzz. I mean, you even had Megatron X out there getting it in on Madden, one of the first females in the Stadia community that I saw on Madden 21. I love Meg for that. You know what I'm saying? She knows it because I told her. Like the fact that she was out there trying the game, Madden, y'all. Think about that for a minute, man. How many females do you really see rocking Madden like that? You know, so things like that. And it gave her an opportunity to jump on Madden. So if you think about the number of players who just got their hands on Stadia through their TV, through their NVIDIA Shield or whatever other device, their phone, their laptop, desktop, CCU, Chromecast with Google TV. You think about how many players that we know, over 100,000 signed up recently, 3 million on the Stadia app, 3 million plus now. You know what I mean? Who knows what that number is now? You have people coming to the platform, and you have people who like Madden. But what I'm trying to say here is if you put a free play weekend out there, MM2K, I feel like EA can do a little bit more to advertise the game on Stadia. Like, hey, Madden's on Stadia, play it in the cloud, no downloads, no installs, all that kind of stuff, y'all. I think that would be an easy thing to do. It's real simple to send a tweet out there. It's not going to cost you any money, But I think that this is the best version of the game. I played it on PC. It's the number one version of Madden 22, and I'll argue with anybody who wants to go there. Start it up in the chat. I'll answer. If you have played the next gen version of the game, and you have also played it on PC, and you've also played it on Stadia, then get at me. Get at me. This is the best version of the game. Why? Because it performs better than all those versions, even the PC version, because the PC version suffers from desync issues, waiting for your opponent messages that I have never seen on Stadia, even on Madden 21. I've never seen waiting for your opponent. That means that either somebody's tampering with the connection, trying to hit the lag switch, trying to disconnect, whatever, when they're losing. And it always happens when they lose. Next week go hard, he knows what I'm talking about. You Madden players know what I'm talking about. But the game is the best version. That's why I get so passionate about it. You got people out there saying it's trash everywhere, and they show a little bit of examples. But the game is the best version of the game this year on Stadia. Yeah. That's all. So with that being said, man, there's a lot that could be done. Crossplay would be huge in that department as well, man. Crossplay for any multiplayer-based game would be a welcome addition, man. If it had crossplay, I can tell you right now, I can safely say, because I tracked the numbers last year, over 50,000 franchises, I think. I know the number hit over 40,000. Well over 40,000 franchises started on Madden 21 for Stadia. This year, they've already hit over 1,000 franchises started for Madden 22 on Stadia. All right. On launch day, I saw the numbers creep up from 60-something players ranked. Now that number is on its way to 800 players ranked. So people are learning about Madden. They're waiting to see what people like me and others who have touched the game have to say. They're hitting me up in my private on Stadia and in the DMs and stuff. What do you think about Madden, Storm? Madden is fire on Stadia. It's the best version. So it's this. I just feel like with crossplay, you don't have to worry about that. Even with PC alone, just crossplay with PC alone, because there's over 50,000 players right now on PC. 100,000 instantly on Xbox Series X when I looked at that because of that ecosystem, man. So crossplay is a necessity, is vital, but I'm not mad. I just hope that it comes. I'm not mad about it. I did think about getting a refund because the leaderboard is broken. For me, that kills the whole game. If I can't race to the top where Valley Chip is right now, he's number one. Valley Chip, shout out to him. He beat me 23-6 or something like that the other day, and I love it. But you want to find matches, man. When you buy this game for $100 or $60 or whatever, you want to find matches, man. And if finding the matches is an issue, then I think that I don't know, man. I don't know. I told y'all, I get upset, I get hyped. You talk about Madden, man. My mind goes all over the place, man. But what are your thoughts on it? Do you agree with anything I'm saying, man? Is any of it making sense?
Well, my thoughts are that Madden right now, even though you can play your single player matches and you can have your own franchises out there by yourself, an integral part of Madden is the ranked matches, right? And so the thing about putting games on Stadia and saying, hey, look, you can enjoy your favorite games on this platform that has no boundaries, no downloads, that gives you this awesome convenience, and it gives you great fidelity no matter where you go. You kind of lose that if you can't utilize every single section. We got to be honest here. You kind of lose that where there's a section where if I am coming from the PlayStation 4 and I'm like, look, I can't find a PlayStation 5, I can't even find an Xbox Series X, but let me try out this Stadia thing. This will be awesome. Oh, they got Madden 22. Oh man, this is awesome. Let me go over here. And you go and you get the game and you play a very popular, you go to play a very popular mode, which is this mode. I don't play it, but other people do. And you can't find matches at launch. You know, that's a tough pill to swallow. I think what Stadia should do now, again, I'm not one that's prescribed and Stadia has to buy every single game. They got to get all the multiplayer games and they got to get the the Call of Duties immediately and Overwatches and stuff. I don't subscribe into that, right? What I do believe though is that if you are going to get these games where the multiplayer component is a major part of of said game, and you don't have the player base right now, which is okay. It's all right.
Yeah, it is. It is fine for us right now because we know there's other games. But for those players looking to jump in, like, damn, I can play Madden anywhere. Is that what you're saying, Storm? I can use Stadia right now. I can sign up using the email, like the Gmail, like you said, like you and MM2K told us, right? Told us that we could sign up right now and I could buy Madden for $60 and play it on my phone at my grandmom's house and all that. But then you get on and then you realize that you can't climb the leaderboard because there's just not enough players in comparison to where you came from on Xbox. That becomes the issue, y'all. Yeah. That's all.
That's where it doesn't feel like you're
Stadia. Let's MM, let me clear the air, man. Y'all know we love Stadia. Y'all know that. Anybody brand new, you know we rock with the platform. This right here is tough love with hopes that something will change, MM, because and it might change. Like I told you, a free-to-play weekend could boost that up significantly. Instantly. You get what I'm saying? So it's not one of those things like, oh man, you guys are concerned about Madden. Blah, 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 blah. It's not that, man. So but go ahead, bro. I interrupted you for this one. I'm sorry.
So what I think Stadia is going to want to do ongoing is try heavily to influence crossplay with PC. Like the thing that confuses me, and let's talk about this, y'all. Again, this is tough love, like Storm said. It's a great platform to play on. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to enjoy Madden on it. And I don't do ranked matches. And I think the ranked match situation will improve. I truly do. With that being said, we do got to ask the questions. Is there enough focus on the crossplay aspect? Like there should be PC crossplay.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it's early on, folks. I know that, I understand that, but I really feel that there has to be a big focus. And if there is right now and it's just taking time, great. Okay, we'll get that. But if there's not a bigger focus, and maybe this is something they can think about, there has to be a focus on PC crossplay. Like this game has 100,000 people on the leaderboard on PC. I mean, it's Madden, for crying out loud. There's not going to be any cheating, any PC cheating that we got to concern ourselves about. You see what I'm saying, Storm?
Mm-hmm. Like, that's true.
I really think that these games, I get it wasn't in 21. I am a little surprised it's not in 22. And I'm hoping that that's something that if we get into 23 and further, that there's a big focus on, again, cross-play with PC.
It brings me back to what Doc Dark 1985 said, y'all. Besides, there's levels to this. He also says all the time, I can't understand for the life of me why Stadia is not out here, because Stadia could be boastful right now. They could. We know that's not in their personality. Well, social media, and I love the social media presence. Don't stop doing what you do over there. Whoever's behind that, the Twitter feed and all that stuff, don't stop doing what you're doing because it's magnificent. But Doc always says, man, Stadia has the best tech, you know what I mean? Some of the best games on the platform and all that stuff, right? And he always says, man, if Stadia, he puts it in a way that says, Stadia, get behind it. Just let people know that you had the best performing version of the game on your platform. The fact that there's no cheaters. And they did that. They've done that with Rainbow Six. We know that they've done it with certain games. But, man, and this is why it's important that we say this, because they may not know. They're always collecting feedback. They may not know these things. They don't play every single game. You know that. So they depend on us, is what I'm thinking, MM2K. And that's why it's very important for us to have these type of discussions. I'm not giving this one a pass. And the game is, like I said earlier, is the very best port of Madden 22 that I played, even on across a next gen system that costs $500, right? Blows that one out of the water. Gameplay wise, less latency and all that stuff. Speed, the speed of the game, fluidity, the smarter defense. I can go on and on and on about why. But all we're saying is get these players out here, let them enjoy the best version of the game, because I think they deserve that. You know what I'm saying? I think they deserve to know that the best version of the game can be played on Stadia, you know?
Yep, exactly. Because that's a big deal, Storm. The fact that Stadia. Okay, so I've seen where people are focused on the graphical fidelity of the next gen version of Madden and versus the graphical fidelity of the current gen version of Madden on Stadia. And there might be it might look prettier, but when it comes down to true Stadia aficionados, I mean, we don't want 6-bit pixels, but we want a gameplay, a football simulation experience that is smooth as hell, where the AI is acting properly and all that other stuff. And I'm going to turn it over to the biggest Madden expert that I know. He's played against rappers like The Game. All right.
Shout out.
He's top 100 every time a Madden comes out. I can't listen to all of y'all. I gotta go to the biggest fact holders, and that's my brother Storm. Storm,
what up?
Money's on the wood. What version would you rather have of Madden? The next gen version that looks prettier, or the current gen version to that? The current gen version, and can you explain why again?
All right, let me think about it. The next gen version has specific features. Oh man, they got fireworks in the when you score a touchdown, man, the field lights up with fireworks and stuff like that. You can see the reflections and all that stuff, man. You know, like the Super Bowl presentation. They got like, you know, when you're selecting your offensive and defensive plays, it's a whole different layout, totally different buttons to bring in substitutions and everything, man. Double tap the Y button to bring in the sub, do all that is different than the last gen version, right? They have MM2K, the best visuals, best graphics, hair physics, all that stuff on the next gen version. But see, the problem here is that there's a lot of warping. That means when you're running through the offensive line or whatever, you see a hole, your gap, you try to hit that gap with the running back or whatever, and all of a sudden, the defender or just warp and tackle you or whatever. Your offensive player gets in the way or something crazy might happen. The game feels slower over there. Slow does not always equal realism. I just want to say this much. Slow does not always equal realism when it comes to Madden. Sometimes arcadey fast, fluid gameplay equals the most fun. Now, Madden on Stadia and PC, last gen consoles or whatever, is not the most sim of the two. But when it comes to fun factor, we play these games because we want to enjoy them and have fun. Exactly. When it comes to, like I said, making defensive adjustments, I have not got beaten down deep down the field on a deep ball like I have on Series X. I cannot juke players out of their boots like I can with running backs who can't even juke that good in real life on the Series X. On the next gen version. I'm saying Series X because that's what I had. Yep. But y'all. But don't take my word for it, and then we'll let it go. We'll move on for all of you non-Madden players and stuff. We're going to move on, I promise. But this is very important for those who do want to get this game, so we must talk about it. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's one thing I take pride in. Let me shut up. Let me start playing the game, and you can make a decision, and I could do a comparison of the two. But on the Series X version, be prepared to see no offensive players on the field at all. I'm talking about at all. Be prepared to see no play art when you're selecting your plays at all. Period. There's nothing. So I could show that, but it would be sad if I did that. But if somebody wants to come at Stadia or say something like, "Storm, man, what are you talking about?" I can go live or whatever. It's nothing to go live and do a comparison. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why we're here, though, man. We're here because we want to see the game get the justice it deserves. And it's not a perfect game. It's not a perfect game. Shout out to Jeff G, man. We had a conversation on Twitter about the game and all that stuff. And I said, Jeff, man, somebody's going to love it. Somebody's going to hate it. Somebody's going to think it's May. But at the end of the day, you got choices. You don't buy it. It's like with 2K. It's broken every year. You decide whether you buy it. If you're a fan of football or basketball, you're going to buy the game. And then you're going to complain about it. And then the next year is going to come. You're not going to buy it. And then all of a sudden you buy it. I mean, what are we doing? So I'm not going to pretend like I don't want the game, like it's not worth the money that I paid for it. It could be better with crossplay and all these things that we just talked about. But unless you had something, we could let it go, man. Because we're going to be talking more Madden 22 as the weeks go by.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that not just Madden, but I think what we're talking about because of this game relates to the whole crossplay thing. Where again, we get it. We're not. This is not the lollipop in candy cane lane as you know many people may want you to believe. No, we understand that the platform isn't perfect, and yes, one of the not so perfect areas is the question of crossplay. We should see it in these games. I mean, I get it. Because the player base is low, do you kind of try to financially fund every effort towards crossplay? It doesn't make sense in every single game.
Here's a harsh reality, y'all. This is why you want to look into Stadia right here. And I'm not even smiling. I'm not joking, MM2K, and I cut you off again, bro. I'm sorry again, right? But I can give you a real story where I just told somebody, bro. I told a few people, including Next We Go Hard, hold off on purchasing it right now, bro, because I know you're like me, the leaderboard. Project Kill Gaming. That's my bro. Hold off on purchasing that thing over there, man. Main Ether. Others like, yo, don't get it on Stadia right now because you care about this leaderboard. You care about rank. You care about getting matches instantly. Don't get it. That right there it bothers me, man. It bothers me because of the player base, y'all. It really does. So MM2K, that's why it's so important. I can't tell you all in the chat, spend your $60 to $100 on the game. And that's why we're having this discussion, man. We can't tell y'all to drop that 60. It's fire on Stadia. Nobody's gonna do that to you. So, with that being said, bro, I'm gonna let it go. I'm done.
The thing about crossplay though is that it's not going to make sense for every game. It just isn't. However, something like Madden, where this is integral, please work to your best of your ability for it to be there. Now, if it came down to EA saying, well, no, we're just not going to do it, and either you take it or squeeze it, then okay, you got to take it. But we're just saying again, and we know from experience off of good authority, we've already proven it with the doubling down on the devs thing, and then the Stadia keynote comes out after. We know that Stadia is doing hard work to get things presented for us, but sometimes there might be something missing off the whiteboard. And again, I don't want to insult anybody over there, but there might be something missing off the whiteboard that just may have flown over some heads there. Games like Madden, until the player base stabilizes, you want to get that PC player base. I mean, now again, if it's a question of, well, we can't do the cross play, so you don't say, well, don't bring the game. If that's the case, then we got to deal with it. But again, I know I sound like a broken record. Hopefully we're seeing an effort behind the scenes where all things are going towards getting that PC crossplay enacted as well. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we haven't heard anything about it. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about it. So of course we need to bring this up. Exactly. Because we haven't heard. If we heard about it, we'll be like, it's coming. And then would have been like, I'm buying it right now. Would have been like, bro, buy it right now. It's that simple.
Oh, I'm getting it regardless. I love the game of Madden.
You don't do the rank.
I don't do the rank. I love the, you know what I mean? I mean, and the only thing I'll do that's online is shout out to the homie Club Stadia, Brian Evolved. He had a franchise that I was part of. I was getting my ass whooped all over the corner of the boulevard. I had a blast playing that franchise. So that's the most I'll do online is I'll play in a franchise with other players. But most of my play is just single player campaigns, or single player franchises. So, all right. Well, we did drum the hell out of that. But overall, let me just ask you a question, Storm. Overall, I mean, again, we gave you the good that was presented by Sunny Cloud Gaming. We talked about maybe not so good with the crossplay, but at this point, we're like 21 months into Stadia. How do you think they're doing overall, man?
Stadia's doing it. They exceeded my expectation. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Now in the tech department, in the tech,
Yep.
we'll be talking a little bit of tech a little bit later on if we have time. In the
Mm-hmm.
tech department, they have definitely exceeded my expectation there. However, oh man, I just want to be able to just boast a little bit. That's all. Sometimes you just want to, the platform is the best. Stadia is the best in the business, best in
Yeah.
class, the best
Yeah.
tech. The world knows it. The world is talking about it. But man, MM2K, if they could just, oh boy, 120 hertz and stuff. And I've seen other people, man. Shout out to Akash and everybody. Other
Yeah.
people
Shout out
like
to God.
Akash and
Yep.
myself and Bibbidi Bop and you. And some people want that tech, man. And I'll say that for the conversation. Hopefully we can highlight the tweet that they dropped and everything, and then we'll get into that. But I think Stadia is doing an awesome job overall, taking the heat that it took, you know what I mean, unfairly,
Yep.
with no research in a lot of cases or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just taking that and just taking the lumps or whatever, and still going out there reminding people that they're behind the platform and they're giving us reasons why and all that stuff, and delivering keynotes and ramping up the marketing campaign, the social media presence, man. The community event like Rainbow Six Siege, man. The focusing on the YouTube content creators. So much is going down that I almost can't help but give them my $9.99. I want to give them that $9.99. I've gone on record
Yeah.
one time, and people might slap me for this, but I said, man, Stadia, y'all deserve $20. Now I don't want them to increase that price. I don't want them to increase the price on us. Stadia don't increase that price. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not yet. Now, but give us options for the people like me and others who want these things. Give us a program like an ambassador program that quench our thirst, or something, something you could think of something to keep me hype on the technical side.
Yeah.
But overall, man, I give it a plus. You know what I mean? I give it an A+ because it's doing things that other services can't do. Yes, it has shortcomings as well, but it's doing things that other services can't do. The number one thing is allowing us to play these games at the highest visual fidelity, the
Mm-hmm.
highest reliability of the network, and the experiences of other platforms. Because you might say Stadia's a laggy mess for me, man. I just can't do it. When I play in my basement on Wi-Fi with my concrete walls or whatever, I just can't play Stadia. You might say things like that. You're gonna hear things
Mm-hmm.
like that. I can't play Stadia when I'm at my grandma's house, or when I'm in the Grand Canyon. I can't play Stadia. You might hear that, but what you're not hearing a whole lot of is how awesome Stadia works in comparison to the competition. You're not hearing a lot of people put emphasis. Even some of these journalists, they'll say things like Stadia works so well, it works great, but then they'll come back with SG&E and all that stuff to close your SG&E in a lot of cases. MM2K, I love Stadia, man. I want it to do better. I'm not gonna cap for it. I'm always gonna be honest. Uh, is that enough for you, bro? Or do
I
you need
think
more, man?
I think we hit that nail on the head over several times, hit it right on target. We love the platform, y'all, and you know what I'm saying, and we will point out the good and the bad, you know what I'm saying, but we're not but because there's no cross playing Madden, it's a hey bird. We're not out here like Snuffleupagus, hey bird. Stadia's doomed, bird. There's no
Right.
crossplay. Nobody's gonna play Madden, bird. We're not doing that
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean? But we are pointing it out cordially. You know what I'm saying? And we're saying to the Stadia team, we're not cursing them out. Shame on you. How dare you? Dip
Right.
your face in acid, Stadia team. We're not doing
Right.
silly, crazy, silly stuff like that. We're just simply saying, hey, look, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this is on your radar. If not, we think that it's something that you definitely want to put on your radar. That's how you make inroads. You know what I'm saying? There's the art of just pounding your chest and yelling and screaming on social media, and then there's making inroads. We here like to make inroads, okay, where we can. We scream and shout at the lying journos. But with that being said, let's go on to our next topic, which is the bad journos. Man, oh man, oh man. Storm, we had a let me just put on the screen. Let me show you something. This is a tweet that I sent out yesterday in regards to a Game Informer article about young souls on Stadia. Now, the Game Informer article reads as follows. Young
You're being
souls.
a bad host again. You're being a bad host again, man. I just
you know what? Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling me out. Thank you for calling me. I appreciate that. Let me see here. Screen.
You know how we do.
I'm being a horrible host. There we go.
He's not sharing with me on the Discord right now. You know what I mean?
Can't play with my Legos. Yeah, I'm not sharing. All right, there we go. And the article from Game Informer reads as follows. Young souls may be the best reason to fire up Stadia in ages, and it can't come to other platforms soon enough. Huh? So I saw that article. I mean, I saw that headline, and I was going to do what I normally do, Storm. I was just going to bypass it. Because there's this thing where a lot of people think that I just go thumbing through news articles, look for anybody saying anything bad about Stadia, and then we call the troops, and we have no. Y'all don't realize. Okay, number one, I'm not new to this. I've been doing this for a while. I have connections where I see articles that y'all don't even see. Okay, I have tracking done on Stadia, so I see a lot of articles. That's how I caught the Input magazine thing with Catherine Hasaya. And even though I caught it and I put it out there, I was bewildered about why nobody would pick it up. And may or may not have been because there was a narrative trying to be drawn there, so it wasn't picked up. But that's how I caught the Catherine Hasai interview. That's how I found the numbers last year when I was telling y'all, look, Stadia grew 1,000%. It actually grew 1,700%. I can share the numbers now because Jack and I extrapolate data and we show you how this stuff hits certain peaks and valleys or whatever. But Stadia last year hit 1,700% growth when they went to the free tier. You know what I mean? When people were saying that they're not even at 1 million yet, I was laughing and smirking like I can't really say anything because this hasn't been released yet. I'm not one of those Inquirer journal people where I like, oh, I'm first with this late breaking news. I'm not like that. So I just kept it under wraps and I just laughed and giggled to myself. However, there's so many articles that we see, y'all, that we just don't tell y'all about. Like I'll mention this right now because I knew that this would have caused hellfire and brimstone had I told the community about this article. But there was an article several months back from GameStop. GameStop did an article, Storm.
GameSpot or Stop? Because you and Doc, like, okay, Stop.
Yeah, GameStop. I know I normally mix it up, but it was actually GameStop this time. They on their blog, they do an article on Stadia. And they tear it to shreds and they lied. I mean, it's the worst article ever out there. And I didn't say anything because I knew that if certain segments of the community saw it, they would go and try to rip that person's skin off. We'd have to get them security to the car through the parking lot. I didn't say anything. So it's not about going and discovering people saying bad things about Stadia. It's about addressing, as Jack Desolate put it so elegantly, the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's out there. Because that fear, uncertainty, and doubt has a cascading effect, and we'll get into that. But let's get into this article. So I saw that title, and I said, hold on. You're saying that there's a game worthy of trying Stadia, which is a free 99 platform. You can play it right now on any device. Actually, everybody with the Google account has access to Stadia already. All they got to do is just flip the switch, activate it, and start playing games, touch controls, Xbox controller, PlayStation controller, whatever the case may be. And you're telling them that there's a game worthy of their time. The game is only $24 or $25, but because it's on Stadia, the thing that nobody understands, they can take the time to understand it and realize that Stadia is not that bad at all. It's really great. But you're saying, oh no, wait for it to come to other platforms. I said, maybe the title was just clickbaity, Storm. And maybe the article just had a fleshed out argument to the contrary.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I would have never read that article. One of the worst articles that I've ever read in regards to Stadia, because the person is telling gamers, he's a gamer himself, and he's telling gamers, look, there's a game that you guys really should play. I'm really enjoying it right now. But you don't play it because it's on this thing. It's on Stadia, which I can't really tell you why Stadia is so bad, but people think it's bad. A lot of people who have misconceptions about it that never touched it think it's bad, so don't play it on Stadia. And as a matter of fact, you're never going to play it anyway, because by the time it comes out on consoles, there'll be bigger and better games out. That's literally what this gamer is telling other gamers. So we had that storm. And I'm not even going to show you the article. I urge you. I've literally told you. I know it may have sounded like some skit that I was doing, but I've literally told y'all why what the article was about. So don't even read it. But Storm, what are your thoughts on this particular case with this article?
This is what makes me proud to be on this panel with you, man, doing these shows week after week, bro, breaking things down for the people so that they don't have to go and read this nonsense, and showing people why we come out here sounding the way we do every time we go live, man, about what others are saying, the haters, the naysayers, the journalists or whatever, you know what I mean? The publications and all that, right? This is just another example, man. It's not going to end, because as Stadia does better, y'all, think about this. When people perceive it as doing bad or having a hard time, right? Oh yeah, it's negativity all around. Imagine when Stadia does something super positive, y'all. Imagine when they do make these moves, like getting GTAs and all that, and Call of Duties and stuff like that on this platform one day. What do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to be all praise? No. Stadia has these games. This is what it's going to be. Here's an example. Stadia has these great games now, but I wouldn't go over there and play them just yet. Because as you know, back in 2020, they closed the door. 2021, they shut down Stadia Games and Entertainment. You're always going to hear this, and it's because we're playing on the best platform out there, y'all. There's no other reason that you could use to convince me otherwise, because it all just makes sense to me. This is just another example. I don't play that much. I don't have the hours in. I didn't have the control in my hand for 100 hours on any particular game. But I'm going to tell you about Stadia, though, and I'm going to tell you not to go over there and play on it. Who does that, man?
Yeah.
A hater. That's who does that.
Yep.
It's simple.
Yep. I'm just amazed at the level of discern that they have towards Stadia. Like, I've never seen a game platform this attacked or this disregarded. And
I like the word. I like the words.
You're doing this by saying, and you're piling on the attacks by saying, look, a lot of people, he basically admitted in so many words in this article. I can't remember the word that he used, but I refuse to click on it. And I'm sorry, I'm not giving it out. I am not a supporter of ridiculous clickbaity articles. If you guys urgently want to see this garbage, just go to the Game Informer Twitter page and look for this trash. It says young souls be the reason that fire up Stadia and ages. But the thing that really boggles my mind is that you admit in this article in so many words, a lot of the misconceptions on Stadia are uneducated. And here's how people can actually educate themselves. And at most, all they stand to lose is $25. They don't got to go buy a console. They ain't got to go buy new peripherals. They necessarily ain't got to upgrade their internet. All they got to do is just pay $25, get young souls, and you're telling gamers, no, don't do that, because people have this boogeyman mentality about something that necessarily ain't true, because you're proving it wrong by enjoying a game on Stadia. You shouldn't be able to enjoy anything on Stadia, right, Storm, if it's that bad.
Right.
But you're proving yourself wrong in your own article. It goes, and the reason why this is bad journalism is, I don't know this guy. God bless him. He seems like a young guy, but he's not. He ain't got it because he's not it. But my thing is with Game Informer. Game Informer used to be better than this. And when Andy McNamara left several months ago to go work at EA, he was a big supporter of Stadia, but I always got this feeling, Storm, that it was kind of like he was told to keep his Stadia enthusiasm at bay.
Right.
And now that he's gone, we're starting to see some Game Informer articles where they're getting into the fray with everybody else where they're hating on Stadia. I just think that it's a shame because all these accounts, when Stadia's going to be here for a while, and at some point in time, it's likely going to become a popular platform years down the road. None of these articles are going to go away. They will still be here. So I don't know why these people aren't thinking about that. I don't know, man. What are your final thoughts before we go to the next article?
My final thoughts really are that it comes down to if xCloud and others perform like Stadia, was hitting up to 4K and all that, and being highly regarded as the best place to play in the cloud, I think you wouldn't be seeing as much hate, man. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. You can't really, if you think about it, you can't make it make sense, man. Like there's no other way to make it make sense. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. As I see the truck pull up with my delivery, but go ahead. I don't have to run out or anything.
Oh, okay. If you do, just let me know.
My TV is here. That's all I'm saying. My TV is here.
That's what's up.
But anyway, let's do what we do, man. Let's move on. What's
up. My brother, now he's trying to be cordial and be nice. He might just break away and run off and go hug that TV. I'd be doing it if I was him. Shoot.
No, I'm not. No, see, I got my neighbor's gonna handle that for me. I'll just say that. My neighbor's gonna handle
that's what's up. That's what's up.
I'm gonna hold on to it, so I don't have to go. Because if I leave right now, I'm not coming back. I'm getting an 82-inch. I told y'all. Listen, let me tell the people real quick, right? Not to be braggadocious and stuff, man. I grew up in a humble household, didn't have anything, man. I mean, for real, bro. I could tell y'all stories about me. So I'm definitely, I don't want anybody to think I'm one of those guys, man. I work hard for this stuff. I'm interested in this tech. I keep telling y'all that it's no joke. I'm interested in this tech, right? 8K is something that I dabbled into. I love what I saw. I'm gonna go ahead and do the 8K thing. But when I had the 65-inch TV, I went from Samsung Q800T to LG C1, which was highly regarded. It was a dope TV for gaming. Get that LG C1. If you're thinking about it, get it.
Yeah.
But that's it. Nah, man, I missed something when I went back from 4K to when I went back from 8K to 4K. I said, yo, I need to do it, man. I got to go big. So I'm going 82 inches on the Q800T. And I'll let y'all know how it is, man. I'll let y'all know how it is. That's where I splurge at. I don't splurge on just hitting the green and everything, MM2K and tea time and all that stuff. I don't do things like that. I don't hit the bowling alley. This tech, man, this is my hobby right here. Stay tuned for Project Storm's tech channel. No, I'm kidding. But 8K is what I love, y'all.
Absolutely. So
4K 1080p is cool. All that stuff is cool, man. We might joke around about stuff in MM2K, but game how you want to. 720p if it fits your use case, man. Game how you want. But if you want to see 8K and 4K and stuff like that, that's what my channel is about. So subscribe today if you want to see what's coming in the near future.
Absolutely. Now, we got this second article, Storm, where this one I think is a little bit more indicative, and this is more indicative of, I want to say it's 90%, and you may or may not agree with me on this one, but I'm going to say it's 90% this individual's fault. Maybe 10% of us, to 10% of it to where maybe we kind of went in and kind of hard on this one. But let me put it on the screen. So here's what's going on. This guy did, here goes a tweet from me, but I want to show so this guy did a review of Christian DeLooper. He did a review for BGR.com where they were talking about Stadia. And in his review, he says, yes, it has had its issues, but in 2021, Google Stadia just isn't that bad. You need a super solid internet connection, and you have to deal with the odd skip. But if you don't want a console, Stadia is worth at least trying out. So the first two sentences whatever. It's subjective and whatever. I mean, it's fine. But the rest of it is a little off keister, where he said you need a super solid internet connection. When I played Stadia at launch in 2019, off of 50 up, 50 down, 50 megabytes up and down, with a data cap, and those that followed my content, y'all saw how well Destiny 2 looked when I was doing my Twitch streams. So, and there was no odd skip. That's another thing. He's talking about an odd skip. But the last thing about this is, if you don't want a console, there's Stadia's for people that want a console that can't get one or afford one.
Yeah.
So he's off keister on so many things. And then shout out to our good brother, Stadia Rev, who pointed out some other key things that he got totally wrong in the article. Like, particularly, he said, Stadia had its issues in 2020. I didn't play it in 2020 though, so I don't know what issues it had, but it had its issues. Like, come on, bro. Like, what is going on? It goes back, Storm, to in my 30 plus years of gaming, 35 plus years of gaming, actually, and watching gaming shows, magazines, and articles, I've never seen this much of misinformation cascaded down to about a product or a service. And I'm gonna say this real quick before I shut up and turn it over to you, Storm. But they were coming after him. They were lambasting my brother. They came in pretty strong and pretty hard. And he responded, "This is pretty intense for a piece that was overwhelmingly positive about the service." So I responded. I said, "I get it. Positivity was the intent. However, Stadia has been the most poorly reported platform I've ever witnessed in my 30 plus years of gaming. Any outlet outside of the community routinely get fundamentals incorrect. This has a cascading effect on potential new gamers." I also said, "Imagine our shock after correcting this misinfo, a lot of which has turned gamers off. We talk about Bibbidi Bop, we talk about Squid, right? Who are now prominent Stadia members in the community, but they first fell victim to a lot of this hoopla. And I said, the pushback that you're seeing pretty much is a byproduct of that daily frustration. So lastly, I say to him, might I suggest reaching out to the community for clarity?" And I do shout out to Stadia Source. It says Stadia Source is a great start. They can also point you in the direction of those who could assist with the skipping reported. That issue is uncommon, I meant to say. It was worded as if it's part of the atypical experience. Now, I tried to be nice. I tried to take a nice approach. But Storm, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, this guy's clearly wet behind the ears on Stadia, but he didn't do the research. Did he deserve the ire that he got from the community? What are your thoughts on all this?
I think he deserved it only because you have to know. It's just a common sense approach, man, that you have to take. You have to take a common sense approach, MM2K, knowing that if we say things is on the air or whatever, people can hear it. And they could take whatever conclusion they want from them, right? So you have to understand this when you're writing, especially from a well-known, publication or whatever, right? Like you have to understand that your work is now out there for the world to see. Whatever you drop, whatever you write, it's out there for the world. You put it out there for the world to see it. If you put it out there with the intent that nobody's going to see it, what are you doing it for? So common sense has to settle in at some point, and you have to understand that there's people who are passionate about this thing. See, this is what's happening out here. People are not realizing that there's many of us who actually enjoy Stadia. What about us? What about the people that actually like that can't get the consoles right now and they want to give up on gaming, but Stadia is right here to rescue them? What about the people like me who can have everything, gaming PC, top end gaming PC, whatever, next gen consoles and all that the next person might not be able to get or care to get? What about us who think that Stadia is just the coolest way to play our games right now? Because I swear I just did 100 gig install on that DSC World. I swear I did another 100 gig install. Come on, MM, let me rock, man. I did another 100 install on Flight Simulator, and I swear I did another 100 plus gig install just updating Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War to play the other day, and I swear the list goes on and on and on. Shout out to Romello Thomas who said this in the chat. When I looked at what somebody said in response to this, Stadia France. Damn, you got it. You just hit it on the live stream. Like, so what they're seeing right now is when you just hovered over Stadia France, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you highlight what Stadia France just said and let me know when you got it on there about wait a minute, was it? Damn. Let me watch it live real quick, y'all, because I wanna tie this into what Romello just said. Let me see.
Uh,
People just hold on. Let me
is
see.
that it?
They're about the journalists. Maybe I think it was. Damn, I can't remember. Oh, go down, go down. It was like there are no real journalists these days or something
Oh
like that.
yeah,
Hold on. There aren't any
yeah.
real journalists nowadays, just writers who must write stuff to generate clicks and money. That's
Mm-hmm.
sad.
Mm-hmm.
And when you couple that to what Romello is saying, like for his use case, Stadia makes sense because of the big installs. He might not be rich. He might not be able to afford an 8 terabyte hard drive to put all his games on, the Call of Duties, all the Call of Duties he wants to play. So he has to sacrifice. And so I mean, it's just crazy that people don't take us into consideration. You know what I mean? They'll rather laugh. But when you laugh, you got to understand that karma is a B. And we'll get into a couple. Hopefully, we had time to talk Xbox today, man. Because I got
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot to say about Xbox. And hopefully, we don't run out of time. Please don't let us run out of time. Because, see, the same people that throw stones at the glass house, man, you know what I'm saying? Are the same ones that realize they forget that their house is made out of glass. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. MMA, it's a crazy world we live in, bro. But I just encourage people to do better, man. Please do better. Please realize, look at things from an all around perspective. You know, I don't know what else to say. I'll leave it. I'll pass it back to you, bro.
I was trying to get our good brother Clive's comment up there because I think it's very telling. And here's he lays where I lay with this. I'm gonna be honest with you. He lays where I lay with this. So here's what Clive has to say. He says, "I have to be honest. Some of the community is super sensitive, but it is understandable when you've been beaten down so much and have to shout louder than anyone else to get uh, Trutch heard over the BS." Yeah, I'm with him there. Here's why. Um, we've are so like this has been the most poorly reported platform ever. Period. Bar none. I've been gaming for years. I done been watching and experiencing. I mean, just because of the enthusiast nature that I have, there's very few tech devices that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? I've had everything. I've experienced pretty much everything. There's been very few that I'm not familiar with. And and when you're coming from that tech nerd world, facts are key. What's happened over time is that a lot of tech nerdy stuff are part of pop culture now. Pop culture now is not about facts. It's just about popularity. It's about things that are being said, debates, arguments, and it's not about facts anymore. It's about convincing people about stuff so they can fit in with the popular crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And at my 35 plus years of gaming and watching gaming news and gaming opinions, Stadia is clearly the worst covered platform of all time.
All times. And man, we never seen
All
anything like
time.
it, but it really does make me proud to be gaming on Stadia though, because of all that. It
Yep.
really does because we took a chance and experimented and explored something new, exciting, and great. Don't forget about the great part. Again, people, I don't talk about it. We don't get out here and just like we're in La La Land or whatever. Hey, let's celebrate Stadia. It's just a cool thing to do, like with this small cult. Remember they called us a cult and all that stuff back
Mm-hmm.
in man. Look, all you need to do is look at come out, watch our shows, look at our content. That's all of us, big and small. You know what I'm saying? Watch our content, look at the games we play, look at the catalog of games that's available to be played on Stadia. Most of them third party, by the way. And the next time you get ready to write SG&E close and stuff like that, man, just think about how dumb that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, think about how dumb that looks when people read it time after time, over and over again. Why do they keep talking about the closure of SG&E? But I can see the logic here. Think about the people that might see the logic in what Google decided to do. Because when we talk Xbox, man, it's going to be clear. It's going to be clear. It's a clear reason why you don't want to throw stones and stuff if you live in a glass house, man. That's all I'm
And
saying.
and
And I love my Xbox. I love Xbox, man. But they I just have a lot to say about them right now.
Here's the problem, though, in a nutshell. You have the worst coverage of Stadia altogether. And so you have this side of the fence where I want to say 90% of, well, I don't want to say 90. I want to say about 30% of the people 30% of the community feel a certain way about Stadia. Maybe it's even less, maybe about 20%, because I want to say the overwhelming majority of the community don't even know what the hell a Stadia is. And then you got the 5% of us that actually have experienced the platform, that know about it. Maybe a little bit less than 5%, maybe a couple percent that have experienced the platform, that know better, that have the facts over here. And the thing that confuses me is that the people on the 20% fence never thought to, okay, I'm hearing all this stuff about Stadia, but let me kick the tires. Let me investigate and research all this stuff. I know a lot of people are saying this, but let me see if it's true. Because if any of these people even did that once, they would stumble upon us 2%ers. They're like, oh my God, I didn't even notice you guys over here. There was so much muck going over here. But I finally started doing my journalistic job and researching. Oh, and there's a whole community over here. Oh, y'all love Stadia. Oh, what's going, you know what I'm saying? But this just proves how much these people don't do this research, that all these facts are just with this 2%. If they just once did some research, they will stumble across this stuff. So that's why I'm with my brother Clive on what he said, that he gets it, that a lot of us are super sensitive because the state of journalism right now is they refuse to do their job. However, in this guy's case, I took the nice road for this reason, Storm. I took the nice road because he's clearly ignorant. Now, there's no excuse for his ignorance. You're a journalist. And he just said, too, here, let me go here. Let me show you guys this. Let me go there and let me go to the website and show you guys this, because this is going to blow your mind. Let me get rid of Clive's comment right here. He just pinned here, personal news time. Today is my last day freelancing. On Monday, I will start a new role as a senior reviews editor. He's a senior editor, meaning the editor is the one that's responsible for kicking the tires on stuff. So this should be second nature for him. And he ain't kicked the tires on his own journalistic piece. I'm not going to cry a river for this guy for him getting lambasted by the community. But what I'm saying is, I think sometimes in these ignorant situations, it might be a little bit more effective to take the nicer approach, to still call them out on their mistruths, but take the nicer approach so it's absorbed better. Because he blocked everybody else. He didn't block me, though. But he blocked everybody else, and he may have to sit back and look at it and say, damn, all right, now I'm going to do my job and oh, golly, God damn, I got this wrong. This does look bad. And maybe the next time he might have a better article. So I'm just saying to the community, like, no, call people out for their facts. As Jack Deslip said, you got to call them out for their FUD. It's important that we do that. I'm not one of those people that say, oh, who cares? I care about the bibbity bops. I care about the squids. If you don't care, that's on you. So what? Fine. Good for you. I care about fellow gamers because I used to be them. I used to be the ones that didn't know what was going on, and I was misinformed and made bad purchasing decisions. So because we care about our fellow gamers, yes, correct the misinformation, but it's not so much about the dish, but how you serve it. And I think in situations where the people aren't trying to attack, he truly thought that what he was saying was legitimate. He just didn't do his job. He's ignorant. I think when you come across these ignorant situations, it's probably better to outline it the way that I did. Hey, look, here's what's going on. Bro, you didn't do your job, and this is why you're getting lambasted like this. Here are the facts. And here's where you can go find more facts. You know what I'm saying? I shut up now, Storm. What are your final thoughts on that?
My final thoughts are, don't become the lady who threw the Stadia controller in the trash can.
Yeah.
Now, I want to repeat this. I want to repeat this.
Yeah.
Do your research. Like my bro says, do your due diligence. Vet things. Do whatever you need to do, right? You don't want to become the lady who threw the Stadia controller in the trash can.
Yes.
I'm just going to leave it at that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hit me up on Twitter. send me a message in the DM or something like that, or just drop it on Twitter, and I'll be able to find. I can update you on that, right? But I mean, it's just sad, man. It's sad that we. How do you even find the words to say? I'm just gonna shut up and we can move on, man. Because how do you find the words to say when it comes to something like this? Like, it's just sad, man. It's sad. I don't know what else to say.
It's sad that and Stadia's getting attacked on all fronts. They're getting attacked by let's keep it real. They're getting attacked by within the community or former community members for those that want them to be a premier platform that came into this ordeal and thought that they were going to battle PlayStation and Xbox, and that wasn't what they were going to do. They're getting attacked by people that purposely are telling lies about the platform because they don't like cloud gaming. They think it's a threat to dedicated device gaming. And then they're getting attacked inadvertently by people like this in their ignorance that have broad reach but are ignorant, that refuse to do their job and do research. His lack of research is riddled all throughout this what's it called? His article. But you got to take a scalpel to this sometimes. Everybody doesn't need a brash attack, or quote unquote. I think in this case, this person is clearly clueless. And it's just pointing out that, hey, I think you're a little clueless on this. Here's where you want to go to get informed. I want to address something that's going on in the chat. I love the chat. I love when y'all have these discussions. My brother Clive Linden is talking to Victor Del Maestro. Games up to 4K 60. That is down to the developer, even using the reasonable man approach that is implied and obvious. Look, I want to say this, too, because this is a big argument in the community. We have former community members that are now going out. Stadia lied to us about the 4K and all this other stuff. Clive is 1,000% right. Here's what I have to say. Now, I get some of us that are newer to this, and again, Victor, I'm not trying to say you're new or whatever. Your opinion's always respected. I'm just saying for those that are newer to this, they probably aren't aware of this. But Digital Foundry helped us understand the several different methodologies as it comes to 4K a long time ago. Native 4K, true 4K, upscaled 4K. So when they told us up to 4K, if you have reasonable knowledge of and lineage of this whole 4K situation, there's no reason why you should have expected native 4K without hearing the words native 4K. If you were new to gaming or whatever, I get it. But if you weren't new to gaming, with all of the controversies that were covered by Digital Foundry because of this, if you didn't hear the word native 4K said by Stadia, you shouldn't have expected it. Now, here's what did happen. Marty Stratton, I believe his name was, from Doom, came out on the stage and said that Doom Eternal was going to release native 4K on Stadia, and that didn't happen. That was up to the developer. And I feel we know why it didn't happen. Hint, Bethesda. Hint, Microsoft. Hint, Parody. You know what I'm saying? But that's just MM2K speaking. So with all that being said, because Doom can run on a soup can. It's like Skyrim.
Yeah,
with all that being
time.
Exactly. With all that being said, I'm sorry. I'm not buying Victor, I love you and everybody. I love y'all. But especially if you've been in this for a while, I'm not buying the Stadia wasn't upfront about the 4K thing. Y'all should have known. We know if you don't hear native 4K and you hear the words up to 4K, come on. We gotta let that puppy go. We gotta let that one go. There's other 1,000 arguments we can argue. I think we gotta let that one. It's time to retire that puppy. Any thoughts on that story before we move on?
I agree, but I won't go into 4K right now because that'll take up the rest of the show. And I want some Xbox. Boy,
you want some of Xbox? Let's do it.
Hey, I don't necessarily want some of Xbox. I just want to. I got to give you your flowers for one, and then I got to talk about some other things.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's talk about Xbox. Hold on. Where is my Xbox? No. Okay, here we go. Can we get the Xbox article up
find
here?
It. We need it.
Jesus. Oh, no, that's not the Xbox article. That's the Tim Swindle article. But I can find. Let's talk about it, though. Halo Infinite Storm has been delayed.
It has been
And
delayed.
oh, no. I'm lying. I'm sorry. Halo
Oh, I was
Infinite.
about to say, don't tell me
Yeah.
that now. No, now you really about to make me go out and sell my console now. Go
Oh
ahead, man.
man. Hold on. Eurogamer had a good article on this, and I can't find it. But no, Halo Infinite is under fire.
Yes.
It's under fire because here I found it. No, that's not. Where the hell?
Well, while you're
Okay,
doing that, let me
I
do
got
this
it.
right here. I want to say something. Bibbity Bop is in the house. We just talked about him earlier, y'all. Everybody that's sticking around, trust me, it's about to get real. This is one of those days. Every now and then, we just have to go real. I mean, we try to
Mm,
do it every show. Sometimes we go off the deep end, we get off our rockers and all that stuff, man. But today, it's just going to be a lot of real. If you like real conversation, hit that like button, man. Like, stick around, share your input. That's why you see the chat. Share what you need to share as long as we're doing it cordially and all that stuff and respectfully like mm2k would say, man, that's what we want. But I have a lot to say about Xbox, and I forewarn you, I'm going to keep it as real as I can as an Xbox fan since day one. To my OG Xbox, had songs on my hard drive Xbox. I have a lot to say, man. I really do. So when you're ready, you can go first or I can go first. It's up to you.
um, so we got Halo Infinite. Oh, let me clear out. Mr. 1030. Shout out to Ralph in the house.
Randy
Uh,
B.
Halo Infinite won't have campaign co-op or Forge at launch. The article reads Halo Infinite won't have campaign co-op or Forge at launch. Developer 343 has announced the two much loved modes of play have been delayed. Campaign co-op won't hit the shooter until season 2. Wow. At the earliest, which means about
Man,
3 months after launch. User creation tool Forge, meanwhile, won't hit the game until season 3. Jesus Christ, or about 6 months after launch. These target releases are subject to change. 343 warned it's a big disappointment for the Halo community, with campaign co-op and Forge considered fundamental to the Halo experience. In a video below, they talked to Joseph Staten, head of creative for Halo Infinite, said it was really tough decision to delay both modes. We're not going to get into that interview, but Storm, we want to talk all things Xbox here
you
because
got to do it.
Xbox is in the cloud. Halo Infinite was going to be a big part of that.
Oh man,
Now it's under fire. I mean, what are your thoughts on all this, man?
I love my Series X. The performance that I get these days are right in line with my PC in a lot of cases, right? In
Mm-hmm.
certain cases, I'll say that in certain cases, like Doom Eternal and others, man, I get some great performance from this console, man. I have gone on record. Today, I'm filled with shame
Mm.
because I've gone on record to straight up just call MM2K a liar. Straight up. Him and Snow Bunny, my brothers and sister, you know what I mean, from PNTS Network, and anybody else besides Doc Dark, man. Shout out to Doc for keeping it real. For keeping
Mm-hmm.
it real. Doc is one. There's some great Xbox gamers out there I'm lucky enough to know, right? But today I'm telling y'all right now, we talked all this Stadia. We talked about some of the goods of Stadia. We talked about some of the concerns we have about Stadia, man. So you know we're gonna do it with everything else, and Xbox is next on the
Exactly.
list. We talked
Exactly.
about GeForce Now, Amazon Luna. People have hated on these platforms. PS Now, they've hated on them, y'all. They have said if only PS Now could work like this. When xCloud comes out, it's going to do this to Stadia. You all might not have heard all this stuff, but me and
Mm-hmm.
MM2K, we endure it every day. There's not a day that goes by that we don't endure this stuff. So we are targeting this at those people that we had the discussion with first and foremost. And for all the haters who were saying xCloud is going to kill Stadia, and this is why, me and MM kept saying, yo, pump your brakes. Now, I was
Mm-hmm.
a believer. I was more of a believer. I shot MM2K down, bro. Lay off Phil Spencer, bro. The dude is smart. I don't want to hear it. He's intelligent. There's something about Phil when he took over. I don't care what anybody had to say. Phil Spencer's the man for the job. Just give him
Mm-hmm.
time. Fast forward, but there's the acquisition and all that stuff happens,
Uh-huh.
ZeniMax and all that stuff. I'm like, that's why. That's why Phil
Yeah.
is the truth. Fast forward again to the other day when he said that at Steam Deck, he got his hands on Steam Deck and everything. Oh yeah, I'm back in Phil. Phil tried it. he got to jump on Stadia and everybody else and said that xCloud performs great on it. But I did not foresee this right here. I was out there. I was out there capping. I was capping for it. I was capping for Halo Infinite since day one. Delay
Mm-hmm.
it, man. Just delay the game. You know, it's all good. It's gonna come out doing major things, and Halo Infinite still might be a great game. Let's not
Yep.
overlook that. But I tell you what, you can't overlook as well. You can't overlook that the fact that this game was delayed a year. You just can't do that. Now, people talking about SG&E closing and all that stuff. Storm, what games do Stadia have coming out that's exclusive?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't have any coming out. They shut down SG&E. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Storm. So why? Stadia's trash.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I deal with every day. Now, I say, but be careful though, man. Like, you never know. Like Sony's, they could delay games, which they did. Xbox could delay game. Anything could happen, man. Halo Infinite could get delayed again. They want to make sure the game is polished. So now we are at this point where we're talking Halo Infinite not having campaign co-op at launch, something that's been around since forever with Halo. M2K, remember the system link
Mm-hmm.
on the OG Xbox, man? You could get together, play. We used to play on a
Yep.
projector, 100 and something end screen, big 4-man, 8-man, whatever the case was. We all playing together, system link. Everybody got their Xboxes at each other's crib, had fun. Halo's had co-op campaigns since online started, y'all.
Frag parties.
Frat parties, all that, man. Just think about it. Co-op was a big focus. To hear
Mm-hmm.
that campaign co-op is not going to be there, that's like a slap in the face for me, and it should be for other Xbox gamers. It's it's kind of like, yo, now you're telling me I can't run through the campaign on heroic and legendary like we used to. You're telling me, nope, you gotta wait for that, man.
Yep.
I mean, so not that's not even it though. That's not it, man. They fooled me. They got me. They got me good. I was not anticipating the fact that this thing was going to roll out in seasons, y'all. Different seasons as MM2K just covered. Forge is going to come maybe up to 9 months later, man. They said they broke it down in months. 3 months for season 1, 3 more months for season 2. So you would assume that there would be another 3 months that would make up season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand what's really going on right now, y'all. Like, what is going on right here? I'm a big Xbox. Look, I rock with Stadia because Stadia is new. It's something cool. I don't believe I'm streaming these games at a high level like I am. I don't have to wait for installs, downloads, patches, and updates and all that. That's why I rock so hard with Stadia. It's giving me something I haven't seen in gaming before, y'all. Now, Xbox, I've seen a lot of what they're doing in gaming. It's more the same, man. And MM, I know that you're just over there smiling, bro. I know you got the satanic smile on your face right now. I know you do. And you should, man, because today I have to apologize to you live on air because I look like a fool out here. I said I'm gonna wait. Halo Infinite is gonna be the reason why I could see people celebrating, and they still might, man. But this is a huge issue right here. You talking about microtransactions in this game. Microtransactions, something that I did foresee because it's free to play with the free to play model and all that. But MM, what about Game Pass? What does this say about Game Pass, man? Like, I have so many questions. It's a smack in the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's a smack in the face because what you're doing is you're putting Game Pass first, man. So much so that you're not even thinking about your content delivery, the quality of it, and stuff like that. Like, I've never seen it. I've never seen this before as an Xbox gamer, bro.
Yeah.
My hopes went down for Starfield and other games. I could tell y'all that. Like with the future titles, I almost feel like they need to release them bad boys on other platforms now, man, because I'm worried, and I'm worried because you're putting all your eggs in the Game Pass basket, as many people have said before. I never understood what they meant, man. Like,
Yep.
what you mean? Why wouldn't they put their eggs in Game Pass basket? Because Game Pass is on fire. Don't you see? The world loves Game Pass, and what Game Pass is capable of. It just makes sense from a business standpoint. But then I started hearing things broken down from MM2K, articles and stuff that he found, highlighted here on the channel, about how Game Pass is pretty much how Xbox kind of like they didn't what as profit wise they didn't generate as much revenue as they thought when it comes to third party titles or whatever because of Game Pass. That's not what it said directly, but y'all, that's where it was coming from. Game Pass, and other people weighed in on stuff like that and how they felt about it. But MM, I thought about the 7.5 billion, bro. And they have to make their money back. That's something that you have agreed on. I have agreed on it. Everybody that we talk to pretty much agrees that they have to get that 7.5 million back somehow, some way. This is scary, y'all. It's scary for a lot of different reasons. And it shows why Stadia said, let me hit them brakes real quick because see what's about to happen with Game Pass. That ain't what we want for Stadia. Mm-hmm. We don't have to worry about all this going out and making these huge acquisitions and all that just to keep our player base growing and stuff like that. This is just my opinion now. It's my opinion. You all have your own opinion. Please share it now. Share it. This is how I feel as an Xbox gamer since day one. I'm on my way to 90,000 achievement points, man. I put the hours in. I think I have a right to speak on it. MM2K. I'm not done yet. Now, on top of Stadia slaughtering that we talked about during the show, you talk about all these people that came out talking about xCloud this and xCloud that, and I've been saying xCloud is going to be the way that many people are going to jump in and be able to play Halo Infinite. You all are not taking this into consideration. You're being dumb right now if you can't see that xCloud is going to blow up because of xCloud. But then I thought about it. I said, damn, they can't even get xCloud to run like Stadia right now. Like, how are people going to jump on and play at a high level when they don't have the performance in all cases? But people are talking trash about Stadia, bro. People talking, oh, Stadia's dead. xCloud is going to kill it. It makes sense. xCloud, Stadia needs to be like Microsoft. They blame Stadia's the closure of SG&E. They blame the closure of SG&E on the Bethesda acquisition. Now I say, yo, you got to pump the brakes, y'all, because you never know what could happen on the Xbox side of town, man. I can't even talk. I'm so hype about it, yo. I feel like a fool. I do feel like a fool for capping. I did cap for it, MM2K. I said Halo Infinite is going to do this. Microsoft is going to turn Xbox around with this, and man, I don't even know how to feel right now, bro. I got a lot of thinking to do. Then shout out to Doc Dark, who kept it real. Doc said he reminded y'all once again that he's a consumer, man. He's a consumer first. Doc flat out said, I will leave if you don't delay this game. If you try to play me, if you play me, I'll leave. So with that being said, I can understand the frustration of all the people that feel this way, man. And that's all I'm gonna say right now. I know it's all over the place, y'all, but what the hell? That's all I can say. What the hell?
Well, there's a lot there. There's a lot there.
What, like Skyrim getting fishing?
Yeah, I mean, it. Let me start off with this. And here's a nice little exercise that I'm doing. I just put in because I was trying to find a particular tweet that I had put out that predicted this conundrum with Xbox as it relates to Halo. And so I went to Twitter and I put in at MM2K space predicted. I'm going to tell y'all after the show, you might want to do that. You might want to go at MM2K space predicted and look at all of the things that are there. It might blow your mind. But with that said, hold on, it says you predicted the future. All right, no, that's not it. But I can't find it right now. I want to show y'all this, though. Let me show you something. This right here, I told y'all. But people think I be lying, Storm. They think I'm lying and I'm capping. I told y'all, I've been creating content since 2017. My first video, official video as a broadband bully, was September 20th, 2017. I made a few YouTube videos before then. We had Scram Punk's podcast. We did that way before then. I think we started in June of 2017, but I've been making content since 2017. In 2017, I made my first video, like official YouTube video for consumption. And the name of that video was Phil Spencer Gets a New Promotion. I'm Not Celebrating the Medicine. Now, mind you, in 2017, I was a full-fledged X-bot. If you scroll down here goes one of my videos after that. Media continues to disrespect Xbox. Will there ever be a consequence? The medicine. You know what I'm saying? I was a full-fledged X-bot. You couldn't tell me nothing wrong about Xbox, but I always had this lingering concern about Phil Spencer. Okay. Now, the reason why I showed you all that is, here's what's going on with Halo. Halo is a byproduct of mismanagement. I get it that they bought Bethesda and that made Phil Spencer seem like a genius. But let's go down the Phil Spencer trove of activity and I'll actually place him where he actually is. The idea of Game Pass was not his. The idea of Game Pass was Satya Nadella's. Satya Nadella came to Phil Spencer and said, look, in my world, we got rid of Donnie D because he was a Steve Ballmer guy. In my world, you have to be able to make the cloud work with what you're doing. So what about a subscription service? And Phil Spencer said, okay. And he made it happen as far as, hammering some deals in for the subscription service. But the idea of Game Pass, that was from Satya Nadella, because Satya Nadella went to every department and said, okay, if you're on this team, you have to integrate cloud into what you're doing. That's where Satya Nadella came from. He was Microsoft's cloud specialist. Minecraft and Havoc and all those deals, those are not Phil Spencer. That's Satya Nadella as well. It's in his book. Phil even talks about that in the Fortune magazine interview that he did that was infamous, where he infamously said, where the guy said, why don't you just put xCloud in beta? Just put it out there. And the guy said, would you ship that? And when Phil Spencer said that, would you ship that? And it was so controversial that even Xbox fans were pulling their hair out of their scalp like how they are now. So that wasn't Phil, right? You fast forward, Xbox has not had a record-breaking or stellar AAA game. I think the count is like 716 days. So the Xbox community is thirsting for one. They're getting beat by PlayStation after running neck and neck with them. They were beat by PlayStation 2-1, 3-1 in most regions. The only thing that evened it out was the United States. And you fast forward to now to where your flagship title, after delay after delay after delay, now you're breaking up the integral parts. And I don't care what anybody says. Co-op is integral to Halo. At least up until, I want to say Halo Reach made it like you gotta have that co-op in there, if not before. And you're doing that and you're breaking it up into seasons for Game Pass? That's your reason that you could do it because of Game Pass? I told y'all years ago, be very leery of the implementation of Game Pass, because all Microsoft is looking to do is to get content in Game Pass to make to keep the service honest. So I said they might be looking to make acquisitions. I said they're going to build studios or they're going to get somebody. Now, I didn't know they were going to get Bethesda, but I've already predicted this. I said, but be very leery on how these games are going to be put in Game Pass, if they're going to be put in with the same tender love and care, because it's not about giving you a $60 game that works great from day one. It's about keeping you in the service. And look what happened. Here's what they think about you. So all this laughing and hickering and snickering about what MM2K keeps saying, go to Twitter, put in @MM2K, put in the word predicted, look at what's out there, then pick up your jaw afterwards. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. It's just that I don't fall into the fanboyism, even when I was a Xbot. I was an Xbot because I loved Xbox. But I still was paying attention to stuff on the periphery. And here's what's going on with Halo. It's just mismanagement. Phil Spencer is not that guy that makes the tough decisions to get things out of flight into your hands. Mm-hmm. When the Xbox One X launched, look, I think the software is key to the Xbox One X launch. And we get, what do we get? Super Lucky's Tales, Phantom Dust with the original assets, and Zoo Tycoon. That's what came out when the Xbox One X launched. When did Phil Spencer tell you about the Series X? Oh, VR, you cannot say you have a next generation console if VR is not implemented. He said it about the Series X. Where's your VR? And Halo, which again is your flagship title, time after time, gets delayed, and now they're breaking it up like it's a Kit Kat. I don't know what else to tell y'all. But to make y'all realize, for those of you that are new to this, that think that Xbox is the second coming of Jesus, y'all ain't do your research. You ain't do it. Start doing it now. And for those of you that are clinging on to hope for Microsoft and think that Microsoft is going to get better, they're only going to get better when you put pressure on them. Yoshida went back to Santa Monica Studios and Cory Barlog when they first introduced God of War, the reboot to him. And he said, hell no, this won't go. Go back and redo that puppy, and it better be right when you come back the second time. And we got one of the record-breaking games out of that. Phil Spencer does not have that in him. He has a bunch of great ideas, but he doesn't know how to land them. And you're seeing the fruition of that. So until you as gamers stop worrying about what people are saying across the street, if you're an Xbox guy or whatever, and you don't put pressure on this guy to do better in those regards, you're going to see this all the time. You're going to see it with the Bethesda games. You're going to see it with Skyrim. You're going to see it with Stars Lake or whatever the hell the name of it. You're going to keep seeing it over and over again. Yeah. Starfield. But y'all got to wake up and understand what's going on. And then again, as it relates to xCloud, this is why I say y'all got to do your homework thinking that Xbox is the second coming of Jesus. Xbox was the biggest talker of cloud gaming, and they're last. They're last in the performance. They're last in total offering. Nobody cares about xCloud. Nobody. They talking GFN, Stadia, and sometimes Luna. When xCloud went to the Xbox Series X server blades, people almost threw up their lunch. They said, what the hell is this?
Oh, man.
Y'all better stop all this damn cap and get with the program. Do your homework. Get your lineage in check and put pressure on Xbox to do better. This is not acceptable. And for those that were within the cloud gaming community that act like Xbox was the second coming of Jesus, y'all better start looking at what the true Xbox gamers are doing now. They're calling them out on this. Y'all better get with the program, because all you're doing is you're living a pipe dream. Period.
That is a fact. And I really had to back that up, man, and say, because I had to learn that. I had to learn myself. I used to listen to these discussions on both sides of the fence, the ponies and the bots, man, real heavy. Know a lot of them, man. Some of them good peoples, on both sides. But this is a real situation, bro. Now we out here focusing on the closure of SG&E. Now it's time to focus on the closure of SG&E. Yeah. Now it's time. It's time to focus on the closure of Stadia Games and Entertainment and all of the hoopla that came. But I tell you what, let me type in. Let me do this real time. I want to do this real time. Let me type in. Let's see. Xbox. Let's hate. Regarding. I just want to type this in regarding Halo Infinite. Let's see. Let's see if it equates to what the hate Stadia gets, or just the fanfare and all that stuff, man. Let's just see. Let's see if it's out there. The hate for Halo Infinite is old. What I'm seeing is old. Let's see. Halo Infinite gameplay getting tons of hate. That was in July 2020. Let's see. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just putting things into perspective, because if I would have done it, if I would looked at the closure of SG&E, it's all over the damn place. It pops up everywhere. So the same people that's been writing these articles about the closure of SG&E, and this is why you shouldn't try Stadia and all of this stuff, I expect to hear from you. I expect to read a great article, a thorough one on at that MM2K about what's going on right now with Xbox and how it's perceived by some of the hardcore Xbox fans and the gaming community as a whole, because it is real out here. It is real out here right now based on what we're seeing. And they're basically showing you the trajectory that they're going to be on when it comes to Game Pass. Now, we can't predict every move, and I might be wrong on some things. But as an Xbox consumer, it just does not rub me the right way, man. When I'm thinking Halo Infinite, like MM2K said, your flagship game. This ain't playing around with Super Lucky Tales and Ori and stuff like that, right? Nah. See, this right here is the console. This is the system seller. You know what I mean? MM2K, y'all. This is the system seller right here. Without Halo, where would Xbox be, man? Now, they have other games and all that. MM2K, they got other games coming, man, but those games are not here yet.
This is the game. This is the game.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this is the game, and that is the system seller, as you said. It's the game.
And you're absolutely right, bro.
And you've had people say, real quick, Storm, you had people say that the success of Xbox is dependent upon Halo. I get that the Bethesda games are coming, but that's years off from now. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know the quality they're going to be in. When Xbox bought Bethesda, they dropped in value. That's why Xbox bought them. Like Bethesda had threw out a whole bunch of stinkers. Like one of my games that I liked, Fallout 76, that was a stinker. The Dishonored games underperformed. Evil Within underperformed. All their games were underperforming. So we don't know, like to expect that Starfield is going to be a 10 or whatever. It might be, but we don't know. But they bought them because they have hardcore games, and that could bring the attention of the hardcore gamer to the service. That doesn't mean that they're going to power these games and make them better. Look at what we're seeing with Halo. They're chopping up the damn game. I'm sorry, Storm, go ahead.
And not only that, MM, let's just break it down, man. It went free to play. Now, of course, I'm a realist, and I have an angel on one side, one shoulder, and the devil on the other shoulder, right? And I try to listen to both of them at times, like when they be speaking, right? I'm like, damn, wait a minute now. The game is going free to play, but what is that reason?
Mm-hmm.
What is that reason? This is how I'm trying to encourage people to think, man. You got to think on both sides of the fence. I go back to Stadia. They closed SG&E, y'all. But they open up the door for a lot of these third-party titles and stuff that's taking over the damn industry. That makes up the majority of the sales in the gaming industry. Is that simple. You can shout out Nintendo if you want to for their exclusives, PlayStation for theirs and all that. But these third-party games, take them away. See what the state of the industry would be. Take away these indies. See what the state of the industry will be. So this is what I'm saying, man. It's crazy when we think about it, bro. And we have to clap back, man. We have to clap back on this one because we took so much heat, man. It was, and see, people were sure, they were 100% confident that all of these moves, Bethesda was going to kill Stadia. Don't take my word for it. Research it. It's out there. All you got to do is just type it in. Bethesda to kill Stadia. The acquisition from Microsoft is the reason SG&E shuts down. All of this stuff, man. But now, hey, I'll wait for it. I'll wait for these same journalists and everybody to come out here and put these articles out here about the xCloud that they love and the Xbox Game Pass and all that stuff that they love. Now, like, I'm still a gamer. I'm a gamer at the end of the day, but I'm not falling for the okie doke though, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If I waited a year for Halo Infinite, only to hear this news right here, how would you feel? That's it. I pass it, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we talked earlier about how Stadia is not perfect, and we point out one of the areas, just one. I mean, there's others. One of the areas where, there could possibly benefit from a refocus on. You know what I mean? And I say possibly because they could be working on that right now, and they just haven't said anything to us. And that is the crossplay perspective. Right. But to sit here like xCloud is just okay because it's using the word beta. No, they're charging people. People have to pay if they want to get access to xCloud. And as a cloud gamer, I'm looking at it like this. As a cloud gamer, you may be somebody that want to access these games because you can't get a next gen console, or you can't, or maybe your console died and you can't afford a new one. So you want to play via the cloud. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play via the cloud, xCloud is not right there. It's not there right now. And I'm not even saying they're on a good trajectory. I don't think so. I mean, I say Amazon is okay. GFN is good. I think Stadia is good. But I don't think xCloud is on a good trajectory. You said that when the Xbox Series X server blades came out, that, you know what I'm saying, the performance would be fantastic. At one point in time, Phil Spencer said that xCloud was going to launch retail when the Series X launched retail. And he backtracked from that.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're in a good place because in order for you to get 1080p on the web, they had to go to an outside vendor. If y'all don't stop this damn cap, I don't know
what,
man.
You got to think about the fact that the game was pushed back. That's why we're here. That's why we're having this discussion in the first place. Agree or disagree. But the game was pushed back, man. With it being pushed back, I got my hopes up high. It will be a final finished product. I started talking about the confidence I had in them for pushing it back. I respected them for doing so. But people kept saying, I heard some birds chirping saying, man, the game ain't ready yet, Storm. The game is not going to be ready at launch. I'm telling you, it's not going to be 100% ready. Everything's not going to be in place. And I said, y'all don't understand, man. That's just your hate for Xbox talking. But this right here is reality, man. And if it doesn't wake you up, then hey, maybe you're blind to the fact that Xbox might. This is what they do. I'm not blind, MM2K. My eyes are open now. I'm just paying attention to the facts now, bro.
Some heads need to roll. We need to stop this. Oh, Phil is the greatest. No, he's an exec just like everybody else. Some heads need to roll over at Xbox. What do you call it? Stadia and GFN and Luna, they're 2% businesses, and even XCloud is a 2% business. It was over. We talk about Stadia being oversold. XCloud was severely oversold, and then they backtrack and oversold it, and backtrack and oversold it. And I'm not. And the beta thing is it's a crutch. You have people paying for it. Once you have people paying for your service or access to your service, you don't get to have that beta crutch anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll give XCloud a pass to a degree because you're not going to see XCloud's apex for years from now. It's just don't fall for that hype. I'm just saying don't fall for that hype like XCloud is on some great trajectory. It's not. I think it's on the worst trajectory of all. I mean, yes, Xbox has the games, but those games got to be playable fathomably on the platform, and the platform, it's not a fathomable platform across the board.
And how many new users is it bringing in that wasn't already in the ecosystem?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's a lot to be thinking about out here.
We can look at engagement numbers, and we can tell that Xbox is towards the bottom. We do the numbers show for Stadia. Look, shout out to GFN. GFN is on a high trajectory. Stadia kind of flattened a little bit, but it's still making its progress. Luna, whatever. But Luna's hardly been advertising or whatever. Like Amazon's it feels like they're taking a step back a little bit and they're just calming down a little bit for something. Yeah. But XCloud, they came out so braggadocious about it.
Yeah. You got. Now you're just thinking about that. Hey, that's cute.
Well, hold on. Let me say this real quick. Satya Nadella came out and said that, oh, we're totally behind XCloud. You get all this hyperbole from Xbox about XCloud, and their trajectory, I'm as far as I'm concerned, is the worst. Go ahead, Storm. I'm sorry.
Nah, man. We cut each other off when we're excited about something, man. But here's the deal, right? GeForce Now. People were talking about numbers. Give me the numbers. Remember, they were demanding the Stadia numbers from inside out. Give me the numbers right now. I need them. Damn it. If you want me to stay on the platform, I need them right now. I need them. But what's the updated GeForce Now numbers after we heard 10 million?
10 million.
What's the X number? I mean, X Game Pass numbers and stuff like that after we heard 23 million or whatever. What's the new numbers?
True.
Where are they? I would like to know. That's all. So it's just things to take into perspective. That's all, man.
With that said, we're going to open the phone lines for maybe like 5 minutes. 5-10, if anybody wants to call in. So we got it. 724-739-3612. That's the phone number, 724-739-3612, because we're already 15 minutes past the hour. Let us know what you think. I mean, again, our thoughts on any of these subject matters, the whole Sunny Cloud Gaming video and the prospect of the games coming to Stadia, this whole situation with the bad journos, and what we're talking about now, Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Halo Infinite, is it now time to stop doing all this blind praise of Phil Spencer? Yes, he got Bethesda on board, but is that going to look like a fruitful relationship where the power of Xbox and Bethesda are going to give you Bethesda games even better, or does it look like they just look to fill their catalog up and they're going to start piecemealing Elder Scrolls 6 next? What are your thoughts on all this stuff? Let us know. 724-739-3612. But any other additional thoughts on that, Storm? as we wait
I
for
had
the
a
phone
hard time
calls.
piecing it all together, bro. It just blows my mind. You know what I mean? And MM,
Yeah.
all I do is just think both sides of the fence, man. That's why I hop around. I'm all over the place, bro, because I can't understand. I can't believe some of the things that we hear, bro, coming from these different camps out here, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is perfect on their end.
Yeah.
That's what I think about as I'm trying to break things down. And I really don't. I try not to say what I really want to say, so I have to do a lot of thinking. That's why I'm all over the damn place. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Mm-hmm.
really want to say, oh, I got to think about what I'm saying. You see how I try my
Mm-hmm.
best to think about what I'm saying before it comes out of my mouth, because I know my words have have repercussions that can come, man, with them.
But
Crazy.
yeah, man, I just, again, I'm not saying that Xbox is going to die from this or whatever. It's just, it's bad though. It does look bad. And
It does. It
in,
really
in,
does.
in, in an atmosphere where it's so knee jerk to say Stadia looks bad, Stadia is horrible, when Stadia
Hmm.
is operating in a 2% business, and people are making it seem like that XCloud is such a better alternative right now. The performance is spotty. It's too spotty. I'm sorry. I mean, I get spotty performance out of GFN, but I get why GFN is seeing this trajectory. I don't know. XCloud is too damn spotty for all the bragging and boasting
Yeah,
that they were
that's what it's
doing,
about.
and all this the Sachi and the Della coming out and them talking all this ish. No, unacceptable in the beta tag. No, as soon as you start getting $1 from folks, there should be reasonable expectations, and they're just not meeting them. And they're in last place, I think, as far as trajectory is concerned. They're in last place as far as trajectory is concerned because they had to go to an outside group. You're Microsoft.
Man,
You had to go to an outside group to get 1080p on the web.
man. Then you go ahead and hook Sony up with the Azure servers, and they come out with 1080p before you. But that might not even matter. Next We Go Hard says it's okay to knock on Stadia for features that haven't dropped yet, but it's not okay for other platforms to dangle a carrot and then postpone games and features. These jokers is different, and shaking his head. Man. Damn, that's crazy.
Bro,
That's crazy.
no, Xbox is not in a good trajectory. Here's why I say that. I'm not saying they're doomed or they're in trouble. No, Xbox is going to make its money because there are plenty of people that'll cap for it regardless. But the trajectory is not good. Here's why I say the trajectory is not good. You done thrown everything but the kitchen sink at Sony. You've bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion. Then you're doing all this. Then you upgraded to Xbox Series X server blades. Then you're doing this. Then you're doing that. You got Outriders day and date. MLB. You're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Sony. And this is the first time at launch since the 360 that you've only won one NPD in a 9-month time. You did better with the Xbox One. And now your flagship title, you're taking core elements and you're putting them in seasons? This is good trajectory?
That's not. I don't care I don't care what anybody says. That's not a good look.
I don't know what else to say.
It's not.
Call in.
But you're gonna have people. It's all opinion based. We got it. We never knock people for their opinion, man.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
at some point you got to start like wondering, does this really make a whole lot of sense? What I'm saying, what I'm thinking right now. I just thought about it myself.
Yeah.
I stumble over words sometimes because I'm trying to make what I'm saying make sense. You know what I'm saying? Live on the fly. But MM2K, that's not a good look, no matter how you look at it, bro. Because if the game is pushed back, you're not giving us real updates until now. I just saw the video yesterday. I watched the devs. The devs talking about it. They say, however, this is not going to be here. They kind of even chuckled about it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it was going to be funny to some of the gamers out here. I don't know how that's a good thing, man. You can't turn that into a positive no matter how you shake it, you know?
Give us a call. Make it, as Doc said to us on Thursday, make it make sense to us. Tell us where we're wrong. 724, and that's an open invitation, 724-739-3612. I'm being honest here. You know, I get it to where people have their criticisms of Stadia, a 1-2% business. I'm talking about a premier platform that's trying to sell you on the idea in the goals of Game Pass. They're taking their flagship title and they're piecemealing it within Game Pass because it's in a $10 a month service. That's the feel that it gives you. So help us make it make sense.
And to clarify MM2K, to clarify what I meant by Starfield, I could see them kind of like some of these games, anything could change. This we know. We've learned this now. We just learned this as a lesson, as a smack in the face. Anything can change.
Yes.
When it comes to Xbox or any of these companies. Let's not beat Xbox up. Any of these companies, things could change, which hence the closure SG&E. Yep. I don't think people understand, man. Is anybody connecting the dots, man? I know it's hard sometimes to keep up with me because I'm all over the place, but is anybody connecting those two dots right there? Anything could change, sometimes for the better. That's all. It's just a lesson to be learned, MM2K. So when I say that Starfield and other games could potentially end up on other platforms, I remember a time when we never thought we would see Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. I keep talking about that as a real indicator. Exactly. And to back my point, y'all, things can change. Let's never forget that. Let's not talk in absolutes all the time. That's all.
I didn't look at Stadia and say, oh, you know what? Let me abandon ship and pick up that shiny new thing. No. After years of seeing Xbox not land on its ideals, I got fed up. I said, damn it, can they roll anything out right? So people got to do that. And I'm glad to see, though, that when it comes to Halo, outside of the people threatening Bonnie Ross, of course, that's not acceptable. And I don't even want to focus too much on that because that puts focus on where it shouldn't be. Of course, that shouldn't be done. That's stupid. But heads have to roll at Microsoft and Xbox. They have to. They have to land somewhere. They threw everything but the kitchen sink out there, and they can't even go toe-to-toe with PlayStation. They can't go toe-to-toe with them. They won 1 NPD out of 9. That's a recipe for disaster. They did better in the last generation with Xbox One. They did better, of course, with the 360. They're going backwards, and they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink out there. At some point in time, if this continues to happen and people just cap for them, they're going to pull back, and it's going to be worse than this. So that's why we're bringing up what we're bringing up. We're not saying that Xbox is going away. No, absolutely not. They're going to make their money, but they got to do more than just find ways to make their money. They got to compete on the market, and they got to show why they're a viable platform 1v1 versus their competitors. They're not doing it on the console thing right now, regardless of all these ads. They're not doing it in the cloud. Let's take Stadia out of the equation. We're getting a phone call. Because, look, they don't compare to GFN to me, but let's answer this phone call. Hello, you are live with Project Storm, MM2K. Who is it that we're talking to, our good friend?
It's your boy Ron Slusher coming
Ron
through.
Slusher! Oh! What's up, Ron?
Slusher.
Can you hear him, Storm? Because I know Storm was having. Can you hear him?
No, he's always. People are always in and out for some reason. I don't understand. He's in and out.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Ron. What you got on your heart today, good brother?
There's a lot to unpack, but first off, shout out to you guys and the wonderful job you guys do every week.
Appreciate it.
For the Stadia community and the platform, and
is that better, Storm?
Shout out to MN2K for having that contest. You know, I messed around and got me a $25 gift card and a couple of Stadia games. So shout out to MN2K.
Congrats, brother. You deserved it for pulling that one. Here's what I did real quick. Y'all know me. I make a whole bunch of noises when I'm playing games. So I finally got past this hard part in Division 2. And I was like, oh, man, Hoss. I don't know where it came from. Hoss. And I was like, where the hell did that come from? And I said, oh, it came from a WWE wrestler from back in the day. I said he didn't speak. All he said was, Hoss. Hoss. I said, if you can guess who that wrestler is, I'm going to give y'all, I guess who the wrestler is. And Ron Slusher said, he's like, the Berserker. I was like, yo, yes, you got it. And then I was like, no, bro, I got to give you something for this. And then so Ron Slusher is the co-founder of the Old Dirty Blasters giveaway on Monday.
That's right.
Well, what's going on, brother? What's going on with you, man?
Nothing, man. Just First off, when is the MM2K anime podcast coming? I mean, I think the community needs one of those.
Yes, I've been trying. Hey, Ron, I've been trying to get with my brothers, my Broadband Bully brothers. Look, that Bleach is coming back. Demon Slayer's coming back. And look, any of you that are listening, if you're of course you were Ron. We told you we showing up with the white van. And we gonna throw your ass in the back and kidnap you one of these days. You're gonna be on one of these shows with us. But yeah, if anybody's interested in anime, I was rapping a proper about it. I got to rap him again. I'm trying to get something done. But once we get our enhancements done, then I'm gonna roll it out. But definitely something on the radar.
Yeah, definitely that needs to happen. And if Stadia Rev is listening, we need a wrestling podcast going on. Not wrestling. Wrestling.
He said wrestling.
If you're an 80s baby, then you know about wrestling.
Exactly.
Okay?
Facts. Man. Oh man, you're right. Hey, look, my boy was telling me about a show. I don't know if I'm gonna do this because it's gonna be crazy. But a good friend of mine, he was in and out of jail, right? And he was having problems, and then he finally got his life stabilized. And so several years after the fact, he came to me and he said, "Bro, I'm glad that you're doing your podcast thing. I like that." He said, "I was thinking about doing a podcast talking about all the crazy stuff we used to do." I was like, I don't know about that one. I'll get back to you on that. So I don't know if I want to put all that stuff out there. But yeah, we're going to have other content on PNTS Network. So if you guys got ideas and stuff, just hit us up, man. Hit us up. But Ron, what do you think about all this stuff that's going on today, man? What do you think about Halo or any of this stuff, man? What's your thoughts?
Honestly, man, I didn't buy an Xbox for Halo.
Yeah,
that's just me. I can care less about it. It's more for the competitive multi-plat games. You know, the Apex, the Rogue Company, the Fortnite, Rocket League. So that really doesn't faze me any. But I will say, I think, man, Stadia needs to stop worrying about the GTAs, the Call of Duties, those big games. I think they need to put their resources into these smaller companies. You see a game like Young Souls, and Grime, just an overnight success. Even go back to Outcasters. These are games that don't really cost a lot and you can invest a lot into. So I think they need to kind of maybe hit that route, because if you look at, Call of Duty right now, you look at the top streamers, they're pretty much walking away from the game. It's just broken and you don't need, they've all moved on to Apex basically. So it's, I think these multi-plat games also that they're refocusing on, like Destiny 2, they went back. They're adding crossplay. Borderlands 3, X Defiant is going to be crossplay. They're probably heavily vested in that, So I think they need to go that route, just stress more crossplay and these smaller studios with these original games, and they should be fine with that.
Absolutely.
I agree.
We got a celebrity in the house too, Ron. We got Sunny Cloud Gaming. He stopped by and he said, "Yo, wrestling podcast, let's go!" Yeah, man, shoot,
let's go, man. Let's go.
Sonny, I don't know if you were here earlier, but we gave you your flowers, man. We gave you some flowers as usual, but you deserve them all, man. Keep the hard work up.
That was a hell of a video.
We will keep sending people your way.
Yeah, that was a hell of a video. But any other thoughts on any of this gaming news? Or Storm, do you have any questions for our good brother Ron?
Nah, man, Ron, he came in and just, he does what Ron Slusher does, man. I still need to figure out who the hell is Ron Slusher, man. I'm gonna put the hashtag out there. You know what I'm saying? Because brother, you be right on time, man. You be right on time, and everything you say, I pretty much agree with, man. I haven't heard one thing that I disagree with yet. But man, we appreciate you calling in. That's for damn sure. I thought we would have had a lot more phone calls from the people who could come in and make what we were saying make sense about Xbox and all that stuff, but maybe not this episode.
Yeah,
let me just hit up the Xbox real quick, man. I think Game Pass and people are kind of confusing Game Pass and xCloud.
Yeah,
xCloud, I mean, let's just be real, it doesn't work. And I am an Xbot. I am an Xbox owner.
Yep.
I can care less for xCloud.
I disagree with that. It works.
Why am I going to go into the cloud and I got a native console? It makes no sense. Whereas Stadia is a cloud-based console, and I think Microsoft, they just kind of look at xCloud as like an extension to their Xbox. I mean, you can use it as you freely like to, but I don't think they're all in on it,
Yeah.
So
and,
what you said,
like I said, until they just ditch the box and just go full on cloud, they're really not going to be taken seriously, I don't think.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Okay, so I was gonna. Ron just made me think about something, man. So you telling me that xCloud is what GFN is to PC, and that's it?
Yeah, basically, it's an extension of, hey, if I can't run this, or like me, I got an Xbox Series S, I can't fit all those games on there, so I got to go to the cloud to play, to play Elder Scrolls or a flight simulator that are, over 100 gig. I just don't got the space for that. So it's more of a supplementary, a complement, like you said, to GFN. GFN works with PC. xCloud is more so works with the Xbox, and Stadia and Luna are just their own standalone platforms, basically.
Man, okay. I just want to make sure you were saying what I thought you were saying. Okay. Now I do disagree about the xCloud performance, because it works. When it works well. When it works with I have a gigabit up and down speeds, right? So maybe that's helping me out a lot. But I see the problems that everybody else see now. Don't get it wrong. It's not perfect.
I'm just a regular dude. I'm running xCloud on a Google Android tablet. I don't got a powerful PC to compensate for all the deficiencies of xCloud. So I just get xCloud as it is. You know what I mean? On my end, and it's bad.
Stadia. It's no Stadia.
I can't play competitively on xCloud.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yep. And that's
whereas on Stadia, I can pull out chicken dinners and PUBG. I can get Madden wins, no problem. But competitive, multiplayer, it's just not happening on xCloud right now.
And Ron and Storm, I just thought about this. Like, people say, there's so much lag and all this other stuff. Remember, Storm, I think you were there. Remember when we were playing Division 2 versus the PC people in the multiplayer? And remember, I believe we were playing them and against the PC people in multiplayer. I believe. Remember, we were winning matches against them in Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
So all this hoopla about you can't play competitively on the cloud. It's too much lag, too much latency. It's a bunch of bullpucky, and I think that's the true telltale. If you can't play competitively on the platform with competitive games, then it's a no-go for me.
Some people feel that you can't do that with Stadia, but again, they don't watch the content. They don't see people playing all these multiplayer games. Rainbow Six Siege. They don't see all of this real-time action on the platform. People are not talking about it. They're showing it. They're proving it. They're backing it up with gameplay, with videos. There's so much Stadia content flooding YouTube right now, y'all. But I'm concerned about the level of xCloud content. I don't see people streaming GeForce Now that much. Not like we should. Not Luna. Not like we should be seeing. Now, of course, you got CGA. Everybody out here that's doing it on a regular basis. Yes, they do it. They do it well. But what about the masses, though? We're talking about numbers here, y'all. People are quick to talk about Stadia. Stadia don't have this. And we said it earlier. They don't have the numbers when it comes to certain things like Madden in comparison to other platforms. But these other services as well, man, they could benefit from a shot in the arm, too.
Yep, agreed.
Right. Yeah, and definitely with that Madden, man, that next gen Madden, there's a lot bad going on with it, man.
Yeah.
Just it doesn't feel the same. I don't know, is the play call menus just I don't know what it is. It just doesn't hit. It doesn't hit the same way as current gen and PC does. So I gotta agree with you with that, Project Storm.
Yeah, that next gen is not. It's T-Rash. I don't like saying trash, but it's definitely T-Rash, man. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
there's
that's just
something
my
off
opinion.
with it. Yeah.
Oh, my
So
bad.
yeah.
All right. So with that said, Ron, thank you so much, brother, for calling in.
Yes, sir.
And congratulations, brother. And will I see you next Monday, man? to try to get another one.
You never know when Ron Slusher's going to show up. I might be there already.
Hell yeah!
I might be.
You know what I'm saying?
I might be in your living room right now, sitting on your couch with your robe
I
on.
say,
You never know.
who is Ron
Yeah.
Slusher?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh man. Well, with that said, thank you all for calling in. Appreciate you, brother. And until next time, man. Hey, we gotta come up with a slogan for you, Ron. We're gonna do that before we put you in the van. We'll come up with a slogan. But thanks for calling, brother.
We'll feed you and everything.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, we'll feed you. Yep. Peace. That's my program. Hey, look, we're gonna cut it with just that phone call today because we're like, oh my god, we're getting close to 2:00. And I want to shout out Sunny Cloud Gaming real quick in the chat. He says it's not a platform; it's a bridge for PC gamers. People don't get passionate about GFN. I totally agree with that in totality. Storm, I talked to my PC friends about GFN, and I say, you use GFN, and they're like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of activity on GFN, but that's only when I'm away from my PC. It's only, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like if you know you're about to go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse, but you want some beef already, so you go get you a double stack from McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, I'm going to Ruth Chris later on, but let me just eat this double stack. That's what a good chunk of the GFN user base think of it, because they're PC gamers. They're not cloud gamers. They're PC gamers that just want to use GFN on the go when they're away from their home real quick to maybe get a daily or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I totally agree with Sonny there. So great stuff.
Now, I want to end by saying this, man. With all the hoopla, all the fuss we made about Halo Infinite and all that stuff, it still has tremendous potential in my opinion.
Yes,
MMPK.
absolutely.
It's gonna
I agree.
Play. That's going to be the first time we're seeing a game from Xbox doing that on the level of Halo Infinite. So there's definitely a lot of things that Xbox gamers can look forward to. But what I'm saying is, overall, it's not the best look. That's all. It's just not the best look, because what you're doing is when we cap for all this stuff, it says to Microsoft and all these other companies, oh yeah, it's okay to do that. Do it in all the games from going forward. So you remember what happened with Xbox Live Gold and what they tried to do with that MM2K. So I just want to end it on that note.
No, I agree with you. I do. Again, I'm not saying that Xbox is in trouble. It's just not the greatest trajectory. It's not good that this is happening with your flagship title. And all I'm cautioning is for those of us that are newer to the Xbox experience, look at the seasoned Xbox people. They're right now giving Xbox hell, reasonably so. So hopefully we catch up on that, because some heads have to roll over at Xbox. There has to start being accountability so stuff like this doesn't happen. So it does become a great platform. I want Xbox to be a great platform, whether I'm fully behind it or not, because it puts pressure on Stadia in the long run for it to be better. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
All right. So we put a poll out there, Storm. I kind of didn't phrase this poll the best way, but it was fairer to Xbox, I think. I asked, do you care that Halo will not release with co-op and Forge? 53% say yes, or not. Now it's 50-50. 50% say yes, 50% say no. Look, we only had 16 votes on it. I think a lot.
Why. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, I think a lot of people just don't care on this side about Halo, period. I should have asked, do you think it's bad for Xbox? But go ahead, Storm. You're going to say?
I think it was worded right. I think it was worded right, because some people may pick up the game. They're going to jump into it. They want to play multiplayer. Remember, this is an era where people jump into the Call of Duty campaign. I mean, the multiplayer, but they don't even touch the campaign. So they spend that money, and all they want to play is the multiplayer. You got to think about that too. That's why I think they're allowing us to install multiplayer and campaign where they give us choices on certain platforms or whatever, like PlayStation and all that. So I think overall, is split down the middle for a reason. It's because it's always going to come down to the culture that likes free to play games like Fortnite and all that stuff. They're going to probably flock to it. But for the people that's diehard and who want the full package and don't want to see different trends start because we're so quick to say yes, take my money. I think that's the other side of it,
Absolutely. All right. With that said, I think we're gonna close out the show. Woo! We went 2 hours and 40 minutes. Gee, I gotta get out of here. Yeah, we did,
me
brother.
Me too. I got a TV to set up and all that.
Yeah, I can dig it. So with that said, I got a day out with the family. It's Italian festival day over here, so I'm going to cheat on my pescatarian diet. I've been on nothing but fish and vegan diet for the last several months. I'm cheating today, damn it. I'm getting me a damn hot dog. My wife doing the same. We taking our son, and we will have a blast today. And then, we might go see Suicide Squad or something. I don't know what we're going to do. But with that said, thank you all so much for coming by. Thank you for all my good friends, Sunny Cloud Gaming, Clive Linden, Ron Slusher, Mr. 1030, all of y'all, man. I love all of y'all. Thank y'all for coming by so much. This was a hell of a show. Thank you for welcoming us back. And this will be on audio in a couple of days. And don't forget, you can catch all of your favorite PNTS Network shows on Spotify, Stitcher, all that stuff, Apple Tunes, iTunes, all that stuff. Just check us out, man. Some great stuff there. And go to pntsnetwork.com for more information on that and to sign up for our PNTS exclusive Stadia Crossplay Clan, the Old Dirty Blasters. With that said, I'm MM2K, and this is Project Storm. Storm, say goodbye to the people.
Hey, goodbye, people. It's 8K time for your boys. 8K time, 82 inches. You know what time it is for me all day. I'm going to be on that TV all day. So stay tuned for whatever I decide to drop as a result of this new purchase.
Absolutely. Appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
All right, man.